Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here.
All right. Game therapy's back in the groove, y'all. Talk to me, Goose. And here comes Carson Wentz, or as Skip Bayless calls him, walk it to him, Wentz. Ooh, 21 TDs, 4 picks. Not bad. Not dang bad. What is this message I'm getting? Why do people always start texting me right when I start streaming? Say, oh, he's streaming. Let me hit him up. That's what they do to me. This is what I got to put up with, y'all. Y'all don't understand the plight. When I go through to bring y'all all these boffins out here to bring y'all this entertainment. Sorry, was that too much of a Star Wars reference? Don't forget to hang your mistletoes. That's good stuff. Very funny. So do you guys, I'm going to the title of tonight's show. Do you guys want to hear an experimental horror hip-hop song? Anybody want to hear that? Ooh, uh-oh. We got problems, y'all. Mayday. Where's my chat? All right, wait a minute. Why? What is going down? Why is my chat acting up? Bear with me 1 second here, Chiefs. All right, I don't know what that's about. But okay, now we're ready. Sorry, gang. It was showing me the chat from a previous stream and not this current chat. So thank you for being patient with me while I get things squared away. Pocket Thoughts is here. What? To what do we owe the honor of the great and mighty prophetess? Pocket Thoughts is here. I was hoping for Battletoads. I've played Battletoads maybe once in my life. I understand the millennial nerds. That's the joint. I missed that boat. I didn't get the millennial memo that I was supposed to love Battletoads. Let's see. Pocket Thought says, I found my password, bitches. Woo! Back in the game. Tell them, lady. Tell them. Tell those bitches. Or tell us bitches. I guess you're yelling at us. I should include myself in that number of bitches. That would include this bitch. What up, bitches? Evening, bitches, and welcome back to Game Therapy. Walk it to you, Wentz, getting your ass beat. Oh, it's mad. Yeah, we had to go all fun after the last stream was so damn depressing. Between the game murdering people and me telling sad war stories that made me cry at the end of it, I'm like, we're having fun on the second stream, damn it. Here we are. But anyway, do you guys want to hear an experimental horror hip-hop song? And I've done 2 streams where the title, somebody please remind me to tell this story at some point during the show, somewhere after the first quarter of this game, because I want to make sure everybody's here for it. The last 2 streams I titled Stealing Milk from Target, and then I never told the story, which I'm prone to do when I get into these shows and start improvising. I forget that I had an agenda. But I do want to tell, that's the actual story I want to tell about stealing milk from Target, something that happened to me yesterday. Where I did not technically steal milk from Target, but I also kind of did. But technically didn't. I think legally didn't. But it's very interesting. That's me. Deuce, baby. Give him up. That's the number I actually wore when I played football, y'all. This is me. Look at me commanding the troops. All right, listen up, men. We're going to go down there. We're going to stick this ball so far up their ass. Break. B, you didn't call the play. I said stick the ball up their ass on 3. Break. Hey, man, just take the ball and run. B's crazy. Why did they let him play quarterback? That motherfucker's insane. Oh, there's my dad. Okay, so if you guys haven't been following the Madden drama, this is my father right here. May he live forever. Passed away back in 2017, and I've immortalized him. He will live forever as long as Madden exists. My father's digits. The digital version of my dad will still be running touchdowns forever. You can't kill him. He's too real. That's my guy. Oh, okay, so my Washington football team, and I'll eventually get a new version of Madden, to change the name so all the offended people will calm down. But it's funny because I am in the group who's supposed to be angry about this name. Like, I'll show you my 23andMe. I'm part of it. But everybody relax. We're good. I'm not organizing any marches. The name's been changed. We're going to be all right. He says black guy steals basic necessities out of Target. I heard this story already. Damn, Jolly. Jolly is ruthless. This dude, man. Jolly will cut your throat. I see you running. Where you running, man? Get up out of here. Pocket Thoughts says, someone has blessed me 1,000 light years more. Tell the story, Pocket Thoughts. Who blessed you? And Pocket Thoughts says her life is mad. I tell you, mad. What's going on in your life, Pocket? You've been blessed. Who blessed you? Did the Dalai Lama come to your house? I want to know. I want to know the story of how you got blessed light years beyond existence. That's a blessing and a half right there. Get home, baby. Was that Aaron? That's my cousin. So that's my cousin Aaron right there, kicking ass. He's actually going to be a political juggernaut, man. He's one of the people who actually has the stomach for politics, but also has a rational brain and can see things from multiple perspectives and not just decide on an ideology. Yeah, he's going to be dope, man. He already is dope. Like, he's done a lot of stuff to end gerrymandering, which is a horrible practice, I'm told, for people that care about politics. Like, there are people who believe, like, if we get the right people elected, we can change things. And I'm squarely in the camp of, I've seen this movie before. By all means, get the right people elected. Let's see how this pans out. Because I'll remind you, we elected Jesus, and they hung his ass on a wooden log. So, the last guy who was dope, they sent his ass out of here on some logs. So, don't get too dope. It's like, I keep trying to tell people who are into politics, it's like, stop changing the politicians and educate the apes. You're doing this out of order. The politicians suck because we're all apes who don't self-educate, and the politicians come from the same pool as the rest of the apes. So, here we are, God's little creatures and apes. We're all those things. I got the spirit of God. But I can tell you right now, if you say the wrong words to me in traffic, I can still run you the fuck over if I'm having a bad day. It can happen. I'm not saying it's gonna. I pray that my morals would kick in and override my ape-like behaviors. Just saying. Is it possible to have a show where you offend everybody? I'd love to run that. Like, the guy that can't be offended, just... Because if you offend everybody equally, then you're actually doing a good thing. It's like, well, he hates all of us. He's not picking one. He hates everybody. How can you be mad at him? If he only hated a group, you'd have to be like, hey, stop hating groups. But that dude, no, he hates everything. He hates them all. I'm telling y'all. See, y'all watched me play through Death Stranding. And y'all thought I was Sam Porter Bridges. I was about to be Higgs for a second. Hey, let's get the fuck out of here. Why are we still doing this? Dude, you live in a hut and order pizzas from a farm that grows weed down the street. Like, just, let's get whatever the abyss thing is that kills everything. Let's hit the button. Let's hit the reset. Let's get out of here. Oh, man. I wish I could give everybody the gift of laughing at death. But yeah, unfortunately, that gift comes with a curse. You have to see a good amount of death to be able to laugh in its face. So maybe I don't want everybody to have the gift because you have to also have the curse.
get going on offense again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right?
Okay, Pocket's going to spill some tea. Spill it.
And typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early.
Good. Well, I'm glad God loves you. That is good to know. I felt like I already knew that. But I'm glad he solidified it for you, damn it. Good. Very happy about that. Tell God I said what's up. I guess he heard that. What up, G? How you been since last time we talked earlier today? Coolin'? You enjoying watching Madden? Booyah! Look at your kid, Jesus. Kicking ass all night. Yeah, beat that chest. See? A civilized man ain't beating his chest and flexing. That's, I told you, we are civilized apes. We are both. That's funny, Jolly. That's an old joke my big brother tells. My brother always says, he's like, I'm Peter before Pentecost, you Peter. He's like, you're Peter before Pentecost, I'm Peter after Pentecost, which is the same joke as yours, just told slightly differently. He's like, you're the Peter that was cutting people's ears off. I'm the Peter that's trying to heal people. I was like, I heal too. I said, how do you know that cutting people's ears off isn't the way I heal people? How do you know that wasn't Peter's ministry? Which was, bitch, I'm going to get one of them ears, but you're going to turn into a great person. You're going to be 1 ear short, but you're going to save the world. Would you give up an ear for that? I don't know. That's pretty dope. He says, sometimes I'm Simon, but dang it. I'm trying to be Peter. Oh, man. Oh, you ran to the wrong gap, and now I'm burning y'all to the streets. I'm not even going to sprint. Not even going to sprint. What are y'all up to? Huh? I'm not even sprinting on that ass. That's how I do. That's my pops. You better get out of here. Touchdowns, ho. Touchdowns all night as far as I'm concerned.
Try here for the extra point. And it is now
21-0. Jesus had to heal that guy's ear. I'm sure he was like, yo, man, I love you. But can you all but can you chill? Yeah, probably. I don't know. If I was Jesus, I'd be like, hell yeah, cut that motherfucker's ear. I'll fix it. Just cut one off. That's why I'm not Jesus. Not there yet. That's why the Lord didn't call me to get on any crosses, because he knew I'd have been late. Like, Jesus was out partying at the Last Supper. We ain't seen him. Sorry, gang. What up, Cap? All right, let's hit that backside. Backside pressure. Let's go. Sorry, non-football people probably think I'm making sexual statements. I am certainly not. There's a front side and a backside. I'm trying to bring pressure from the backside. We can't be on the ground. We can't both be on backside. Beat your man. Beat your man. Beat your man. Foot race, ho. I beat you. Excuse me. Lord Jesus. Oh, home one is goal leader. Stand by. Dun dun dun. Let's get down. Scoobily douche. That's what we need there, Jesus. Be Cause what is we gonna do, Jesus? We gonna party so hard that the people up top know the city streets. Why? Cause the titty meats were too long and too low. Shitty beats. The big boys eating kitty treats. How many things can I rhyme with city streets? That's my son right there. So, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be telling the story. The guy who just ran for that touchdown is my youngest son, except this is when he's 21 years old and grown and not a little toddler. He's supposed to be somewhere between, I think, 6'6" and 7'2". So I just made him 7 feet and turned him into a lineman. It's funny, too, because Madden kind of tries to balance out the heights of people, because it's like you can look at my son, and he's not, it doesn't look like he's quite 7 feet out there. It feels like they're shortening him. Because those other guys, I mean, there's guys out here that are under 6 feet, and he's not completely towering over them. And I'm like, I met Shaq, and I came up to his neck. So, and I'm not short. So what's going on? Meeting Shaq was funny too, man. Because I didn't realize it was him. I was like, damn, that dude's tall. And then and this is when he was like in his prime, Shaq, like ripping down backboards. And I was like, oh, and I walked past him like, oh snap, and I could see he kind of looked at me like, damn, this kid's just gonna walk by and not say shit. I was like, oh, that was Shaq, and then I just kept walking. I didn't try to fix it. I didn't try anything. And then I think my brother met him the year before that or the year after that at a hotel down the street from the mall that I met him at. What are y'all doing letting this hoe get yardage? Well, actually, that's what they're supposed to be doing. I'm running cover 2. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do to cover 2, which is run the ball. But guess what, ho? Run that. Run that. Run that. Get your pretzel ass off the field. I don't know. The word name Wentz just sounds like pretzel. I don't know why I thought that. This is pretzel ass. Get out of here. Look at that 7-footer getting in there for love. Pocket Thoughts. The story about the stolen milk will come in quarter number 2 of the game. Remind me when we get to the second quarter of the game. Right now we have 9 minutes left in the first quarter. Thank you for the reminder, by the way. I want to not have to tell it twice, so I'm waiting for everybody to get here. And usually by the second quarter of the game, everyone's here. Everyone comes in and yells, I didn't get a notification. Like, I know, YouTube sucks. Or you have your notifications on your phone turned off. Or you don't have your subscription set up right. Or you don't watch enough of my videos when I'm not live for YouTube to think you give a shit. Do you want to fix one of those 3 things? I'll start showing up in your feed. And YouTube, I know the notifications I get from YouTube because YouTube knows, oh, this dude's watched 40 hours of this dude's content. He wants to know when he's on. Like Jeff Cavalier, I'm going to get an update when he's on. Because that dude's taught me more about fitness. I've learned more from him over the last probably 10 years than anybody else I've ever learned from. So when he goes live, I'm getting a notification. GameSack goes live, you better believe I know. Because YouTube knows, like, he's... But other people, when they do stuff, I don't hear about it because I don't ever watch it. But there are 3 shows I always get notifications from, and they're the 3 shows I spend probably the most of my YouTube time watching. Jolly says B is so talented, he hears in dyslexia too. Damn, Jolly. That's a great bit. He hears in dyslexia. I love that. Oh, bless you. I'm getting all kind of laughs tonight. The freaking Terry with the chin kills at the end of the game. Chin, Jolly, were you here for Terry's joke on the last stream about Hong Kong '97? If you weren't, go back and everybody needs to go back and watch that shit. And maybe I need to be respectful. That might not be funny to an audience because it's just probably 4 minutes of me crying from laughter, but it is funny as hell to me. Come on home with it, Alex. Come on, baby. Why does Madden make people who can catch drop the damn ball all the time? Oh, cheating ass game. Madden been cheating since 1994 and still cheating. Ah, you almost threw that to my wife. My wife's on the field too. She's one of our characters. She almost caught an interception. She's the sleeper killer on this defense, man. She doesn't get the stats everybody else gets mostly because people don't run plays toward her because she's a murderer. That's usually a sign of a really good player who doesn't have stats. It's because they are literally making their plays go away from her. But when a play is hers to cover, like the sacks that she gets, the interceptions that she just sneaks in and makes, she's a monster in this game. And I'm like, oh, she's the sleeper of this defense. Oh, y'all better put a hit on. That's my third son right there that just made the catch. He's supposed to be 6 foot, somewhere between 6'6" and 6'9". So I think I made him 6'6" in the game. And then I made me my actual height. I was like, let me keep it real. But they're making my dad, well, I guess my dad's not that much shorter than me. He just looks short on this game because so many of the other players are bigger than me and him. We're like me and my dad are the small guys on the offense. Everybody else is like a giant compared to us. Yeah, where you at, Fletcher Cox? All in your ass. That's where I am. Huh? Touchdown, ho. Might as well be a touchdown as long as it took you to tackle him, brother. Wait, here comes the best part. Alfred Emmanuel Angel. What up, homie? One thing's for sure, this defense sucks. Can we get Bob Menery? Like, here's what I need to happen. I need there to be a Madden, like a non-Madden football game that plays better than Madden, and I need Bob Menery. Can we get on making maybe this needs to be my next life project. Is fuck trying to help people in the world. I'm just going to make a video game. And it's going to be better than Madden, and I'm going to get Bob Menery to do the damn commentary. That would be amazing. Could you imagine that fool? Oh, he's the best. Oh, Bob Menery, boy. If you're not listening to Bob Menery, give that a shot. Yeah, so those are all my mentors and my protectors, right? My guardian angels. Everyone except the guy on the left is someone that was in my life that passed away and was tied somehow to either mentoring me or raising me or helping me. So my offensive line are kind of the core of my foundation for my life. So that's the metaphor of the game. You see, I built storytelling into Madden. That's better than every RPG that was ever written. Right there. I did it. That doesn't sound arrogant at all. Boom. Let's keep running Zach, man. Damn, y'all gonna let him have free range chicken?
It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down. Lots of plays on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business in the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Fight for it, Pop. Fight for it, baby. Way to get there.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it unbelievable.
He got all the way to the secondary before anybody even got a hat on him. That's my pops, young. He is not a game. The secondary got the first hat on the dude. Let's just run this right down their mouth. Let's show them that we stronger than they are. Homies, push him. Off the line, men. Right in his face. Get out of here. Spike it in his ass. All in your ass. That's how I do it. I don't know how y'all play football. Keep your foot on their throat. That's how I play football. There's no mercy on this football field. Kill his ass. Dead. Touchdown.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Oh, yeah.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Is that? Oh, okay. No, that's OBS, not the.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
All right. We good. Everybody be cool. What you want to do?
Had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes outside and puts on sweat.
There you go. Way to knock it out of his hand, PJ.
He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a fifth.
They're doubling him, and he's still got a hit ass. See, I told you when a play goes to my lady, she is ready to kill. That's my wife right there, killing. Now, I think this was the Madden before they let you start putting women in it, but so I gave him my wife's hair, I guess. That's about as close as I get. I made him as short as my wife and gave him her hair. That's as close as we're getting to my wife. I guess when I get the new Madden, I'll put a lady in there. It'll be my wife. Boom. This is a good one, and he's going to take it right up the rail on your ass. Actually, I should probably define up the rail is an actual football term. That didn't sound. I need to rephrase that. Damn. Oh. Unintentional sexual innuendo.com.
big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners.
Your lead runners, they're all whores. It's like I'm fighting to get to that first down, and they're all hanging on me like, get off me. All right, let's see what they call. Oh, you're not going to bring anybody up in the hole, or is that safety disguising what he's about to do? Let's see. He's disguising what he's about to do, and I'm just going to take it up the B gap and still get 7 yards out of the B. That's easy. You're not going to disguise what the safety's doing to me, boy. You think you're going to hide that? Dang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Damn, there's 9 people in the box. They are ready for a run here. All right, up the B gap. Look at that. Y'all are pathetic. I mean, it is the Eagles. I probably shouldn't get too excited.
Some big runs here, Charles, already in this first quarter.
Yeah, if the lanes are there, go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
They are jacking Fletcher Cox's ass up. We're not doubling him, are we? Nope.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window. Because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think
That's not how I sound. Or was that the center yelling out? Well, I imagine Jesus doesn't sound like that either. Because the guy yelling Mike's 51 is either me or Jesus yelling that. And that's neither one of our voices, Madden. Mike check 51! I don't sound like that. And Jesus better not sound like that. I'm going to worship this guy my whole life and that's his voice. I might have to change teams. Get in there. Touchdowns galore. Turbo Lynn. What up? Good to see you, lady. Yeah, but Mike check 51. I'm trying. Who was that supposed to be? Because the only two people that should be saying that is me and the center. So I don't know. I guess they're saying that's what they think I'm supposed to sound like. I'll have you know, Madden, I sound quite a bit sexier than that. I've been hired to do voice work in the past, you understand? I've done commercials. I've done entire events for the military. I was the voiceover for the opening ceremonies at the Army's birthday. I'm accomplished at these things, damn it. You will not have my voice sounding ridiculous when I know it's buttery and silky and sexual. And delicious. Magically delicious. Hey, Kaz is in the house. What up, Kaz? Happy Saturday. Let's see, Turbo Lynn studying for finals. What class? It's going to be a goose egg on this score. Ain't no, it's only going to be goose eggs on this scoreboard, ho. Zach, get some, homie.
A week ago was one of the best defensive performances I've ever seen. He had 5 sacks. Here we go again.
God, could you imagine somebody that big just, yo, mama, oh, and then lands on you? How is his hip not turned to dust? Dang, the anger management crowd's already, it's only the first quarter, they're already in anger management? Get that dude some anger management classes. It's only the first quarter, you already freaking out. Need to get you some counseling, bro. There you go. Who's that, Aaron? Dang, Aaron is all over the field today, boy. Mr. Ware. Like, he's the silent assassin of the team because he'll get 6 tackles. I'd be like, where'd he get these tackles from? And it's just like he's in on every play. So he racks them up and you just don't see it because usually he's not the only guy in on the play. It's like Aaron be sneaking, getting sacks. They're like, damn, that dude had 4 sacks? When did that happen? Like, I don't know. He's a beast. Mr. Wentz. Let's back off a little bit, men. Let's let Mr. Wentz have a little room to throw, if you will. We can come home with an interception if you do it right. I told you, black ass, we was coming home with that. Give me this. We going to the crib. I knew he was going to throw that. Disguise the coverage. Let him think he's got the underneath and come get it, Chris. Hell yeah. Told you that dumbass was going to throw that interception. I knew he was. Give me that ball, ho. All day. And I didn't even tuck it away. That's how much we disrespected your monkey asses. I didn't even tuck the football. I carried it like a loaf of bread all the way to the crib. Get your ass off of me. West Point, bitches. That's where he went to college and played football. And that's my buddy from war. That's the guy I went to war with. So he and I led units he and I led 2 units that were part of a bigger unit. So I was in charge of this one, he was in charge of this one, and we all fought together. That's my brother, man. He's got the coolest name of a man on the planet, too. His name is Chris Vegas, for crying out loud. How do you get a name that cool? That's a movie star's name. Chris Vegas. I hate every bit of his mom being cooler than mine. Like, damn. Wish my mom was that cool. Shit. My name. I want a cool-ass name. Like, my mom should have named me 36. That would have been cool as shit when Wu-Tang came out. Uh-oh, someone tell Pocket she's like 20 minutes behind on the stream. If she's responding in real time, she is behind. Let's get a little flavor in that tea. Just a little bit. We don't want to have any citric acid reactions here, allergies. I'm going to let my team play this one. I'm not even going to get involved. The Illumanarch is here, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen. Brother, I thought you'd be broadcasting from heaven by now. You were the most resilient, indestructible man I've ever seen. How are you, man? It's good to see you. I'm glad you're still above ground. And I'm glad you're with us. Whew! Everybody say hello to my main man, the Illumanarch. Mr. Michael C. What's up, brother? It's good to see you, man. Always. I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you're still around. I'm telling you that Illumanarch is, I'm convinced, is an android. Or he's RoboCop. He's one of them. Because this dude has cheated death more times than anybody I ever known. And just keeps swinging. Like, I ain't leaving. Fuck y'all. Like, Death trying to do shit and he was shit. He told Death he was busy. Fuck you. Oh. All right, foot race, foot race. Come on, baby. Dun, 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 dun. You're not faster than me. And a nice job here on special teams as he takes the ball. You know who else is going to be happy? My son, who's about to get a 92-yard touchdown right here in Mabry. Right up the gut, too. That's where we going. 92-yard touchdowns on your ass right here. Oh, look at it. Look at the speed up. Told y'all. Speed, son. Y'all don't want to see my son, the fullback of this team. Spike it, son. Oh! Don't let his size fool you. Homeboy got wheels. It's the fastest defensive lineman that's ever played football. And then look at, that's Trent Williams keeping up with him. Go ahead, Trent. He broke it outside, saw it was broken. Broke it outside. Look at these tackles. Get off me, ho. He's trying to tackle him in his balls. That's how short you are. You ain't tackling my balls. Get out of here. My balls are too strong.
Extra point attempt to follow here.
Kat says, yeah, I don't have anything set for notifications on YouTube. I use RSS alone and just happen to see things on Discord. That's what's up. Hey, Quinn is here too. What's up, lady? Or Queen, I should call it. Hello, Queen. Oh, thanks, Jolly, for getting the Discord link in there. Bless you. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Discord is so important, because YouTube, come on, man, my channel, it ain't notifying nobody of nothing. This derelict ass ship that we're calling a YouTube channel. It was like the Titanic sunk kind of part of the way. We just left it out there. I got other shit to do. We'll rescue the people on that damn boat later. And here we are, back on the ship. And this time, if it sinks, nobody cares. We're just having fun. Whoop! Where you going, ho? Now, that's the best cornerback in the game right there. You ain't running away from him on no island. You out of your mind. Tristan's in the house. Boom. Oh, Turbulence says she's doing calculus. Wow. That's what's up. Is that Deshaun Jackson I just jacked up on that screen? Oh, Deshaun Jackson's still on the Eagles in this game? The rosters are a little out of date. And I don't even care. I guess if Wentz is on the Eagles, that's the #1 giveaway that the rosters are out of date. Considering he plays for the Indianapolis Colts at Lucas Oil Field, which I think was partially built by a friend of mine. Built or financed, or both. May he live forever. Jolly says, hey, B, question. Why ask this? Tell me one thing you are desperate to see happen in your life right now. Why do you think I asked it? What do you think? I'd love to hear your perspective on why I asked it. I don't know. I don't fully know why I asked it. It's the only honest answer I can give you. Why do you think I asked it? The simplest answer is it was on my mind at the time, and I wanted to see how people would respond to it. But there is also a, like, depending on how people answer it, there can be teaching moments. But I just wanted to know, like, what is the thing that fires you mofos up? Period. That's what I want. The two things I want from that question, I guess, is I want to know what lights your soul on fire. I'm very curious about that. I'll give you the other answer once you give me yours, and we can talk about it. Illumanarch says that you're getting 3 views from me. I'm watching on 3 separate devices. See, that's when you know you not only have a friend, but you have a friend who's a creator. Because only a creator thinks about shit like that. Like, I'm a log in 7. Like, I'll be at Best Buy logging into shit of people I want to win. Like, businesses. Like, just because it's only a creator thinks of that shit. Like, what's one way I can hustle this system to make it help one of my friends? Thank you, brother. In fact, one of the titles of my streams is going to be called The Gift of Desperation. Because, see, we live in a world where people think desperation is bad. I think it's a damn gift. And I honestly think we'll come back to the second half of why I asked the question. Here in a sec. Now, I will say desperation can lead to a lot of bad things if you don't manage it properly. But it is a gift if you use it right. And if there's people going through a lot of suffering right now, that statement's going to sound very off-putting. Talk to me again when you get to the other side of the suffering about the benefits you have because you went through it. And then you'd be like, oh, everything good in my life comes right after some ridiculous struggle. So maybe stop running from these struggles and lean into them. A-gap, gone. What? Ooh, ankles on the floor. I keep getting told desperation is ugly. Yes, because you're around a bunch of people who live cute-ass lives, who are very comfortable in their lives, and they don't want any desperation. They don't want any of the negative that comes with trying to get more positive. Like, nobody wants to be desperate, but the only people who are willing to be desperate, because nobody wants it, but the only people who lean into it are people who want something more than where they are right now. They want something more out of themselves. They want something more off this planet than what they're getting. And they're willing to go through desperation to get to it. Most people are not. They would rather live comfortable lives. And living a comfortable life scares the shit out of me. Because that's where I think shit goes wrong.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. And a long run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff team on the
And I have a lot of comforts in my life. That's why I make myself deliberately uncomfortable in a lot of other ways. Like one of those ways is every week I meet with a person to dig into this crazy brain of mine and to peel it back and figure out what's in there. And how can I make it stronger? How can I make it better? Where am I weak? Where am I still displaying or manifesting behaviors that are not in line with the person I know God created me to be? That's hard work that a lot of people don't want to sign up to do every week because it hurts when you have to face the fact that I might be a piece of shit. And anyone that can't say that about themselves hasn't dug deep enough into their life, or they've just lived a very charmed life where they haven't had to do things to survive. So, Scooby-Doo. But yeah, people who are telling you desperation is ugly, how awesome are their lives? Because I don't know a single person who's living an awesome life who wasn't desperate for something before they got there. Another word you can use for desperation is obsession. In this case, it would be interchangeable. Let's see, I thought you were looking for a way to be more interactive with the community and get topics. No. I mean, I'm always going to interact with the community because it's my people. But no, it definitely wasn't to get topics for the stream. I have a never-ending list of ideas for content. That's cool. And what you may be conflating is what I asked you guys to do in our private group versus what I did on Discord. The engagement I want on Discord is going to come from you guys because I've run a couple of communities. It's never the person it's named after who makes the shit work. It's just that one person is not enough to drive it. You know, like when I launched my very, 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 very first online community ever, I had a person. In fact, Kazrico reminds me of him a lot, personality-wise. It's funny, too, because when I ran into Kazrico and Terry for the first time in life, I thought they were him and another guy that used to be a part, because they're exactly like those guys. I'm like, oh, he's sweet. Like, Kaz is really a sweethearted human being, like this guy, and Terry's like this other dude who I loved, who just tells people, this is what I'm thinking, fuck you. And I'm not apologizing. And I love that about those guys. But then I found out Kaz and Terry were separate dudes. They weren't from the old community. But I just learned, like, those were the guys, like the guy that reminds me of Kaz, or that Kaz reminds me of, whichever way, he helped me code the community, showed up at 4 o'clock in the morning with me as I was building it and finishing it, and then was there all day the next day off and on to help me get, topics started and get people engaged and involved. Turbulence says, okay, now on 2 devices. Nice. Watching you from the hospital bed. Well, we're glad to be broadcasting there, man. When do we get you up out of there? Are you, how long have you been on this stint, and what's the prognosis of you getting up out of there? Yeah, well, B loves you back, man. More than you probably realize. You guys mean the world to me. I don't say it enough. I wish I had better ways to show it, but I'll build some. How about that? And if I wasn't such a scatterbrain with 4 kids, 3 of which contacted COVID, I'd probably be a little more organized in knocking those things out. Hang on to that ball, Pops. All right, so we're in the second quarter. Let's go ahead and tell this milk story. Actually, let me finish this drive, and then we'll tell the milk story.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Rushing off defenders.
Terry says, see, I have my own opinion about having proxies in communities and asking those statements of members. What are you talking about, Terry? I don't understand that. Or, sorry, Terry. Jolly. What do you mean? You're going to have to flesh that statement out. Just as a standalone statement, I don't understand what you're trying to say.
Let's go now. Hey, read. Ready, go.
So the number one reason why I ask the question is if I know what makes your soul come alive, I know how to incentivize you as a human being. So if I want to get something from you, I know how to give you something of equal or greater value that will incentivize you to take action. If I know the things in your life that matter, I know how to give you something that makes you an ally to something that I'm trying to do, right? Right? Or at the end of the day, whether I'm trying to do something or not, like if I know how a person's soul comes alive, I know how to show them love. I know how to speak in terms of how you think. That's the first motivation, is understanding more about the human who answered it so I can have empathy for them. That's the number one bedrock reason why. And I can stack 1,000 other reasons on top of that. But the main thing is, if I understand what makes your soul catch on fire, I understand how to get to you in a positive way. I'm not talking about manipulation or trying to hurt people, but if I know what matters most to you, I know how to talk to you to get you to take actions that are going to benefit your life. And in the event that I want something from you that's going to benefit me, I now know how to benefit you first to ask you to help me. I know how to, like, say, hey, I'd like to pay you in a sense, but maybe not with money, but here is a way I can give to the thing you want. Can you help me with this thing I want over here? Right? You have to know how to incentivize people if you want it. Like, if you ever want to have influence, the number one thing you need to understand is how to incentivize the people who you want to take whatever the action is you want them to take. Like, the greatest action I want people to take is to self-educate to the point where their lives get naturally happier because they're knowing and doing things that make it so. That's the number one thing that I want. But to help y'all get there, I have to know you. Because, like, if I just base it on me, selfishly or narcissistically, I can't reach people if I'm only looking at them through the lens of my life, because the way I see things could be terribly different from them. But I'm not sure what you're talking about with the proxy stuff, man. That didn't make any sense. I mean, it doesn't make any sense out of context of what you're actually trying to communicate. Let's see, Mike says, loving your beard, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Ooh, nice little double team block right there. What you didn't account for is that I got other people on this team. You could double team me all you like. I got to find a better way to say that. And you can put two people to block me all you like, but somebody else is going to be free when you do that. Lou got home fast enough to make him throw that ball off. Awesome.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away.
All right, let me read Jolly's comment here before I run this. He says, well, asking that, but no follow-up. You got what you needed out of asking, but no follow-up to those who stated something that they... What are you talking about? Like, okay, I said that. Now, why did you ask? Well, I mean, no. Are you assuming that I'm not going to follow up with these people? That I'm just going to ask the question? Is your assumption that I just asked the question and walked away? That there wasn't going to be a follow-up discussion? Is that what you're thinking? Because you must, like, my question to you is, how long have you known me? If that's the conclusion you jump to. But I may also be misunderstanding what you're trying to say, because I'm reading a half-assed sentence that YouTube's not going to let you type out all the way. Ooh, nice tackle. So I do my follow-up on Mondays during Spartan time is when I come back to answer. I'm just not there every day, if that's what you're talking about. Oh, well, they'll figure it out. I mean, but, Jolly, you have to understand, too, man, and I don't, maybe other people are more like you. Like, my observation of you over these years has been that you are way quicker to assume something is shady than other people I know. Like, oh, why do you do this shit? Like, you have that dude like, oh, this motherfucker is shady. Like, that's the vibe you give me. I don't know if that describes you properly. I may be misreading you, but my read from you is that you always think some shady shit is up when you're dealing with people. It's like, I don't think most people's conclusion would have been, oh, B's pulling some shady shit. That's more what I would expect from, having interactions with you, is that you're not going to, like, basically for you to say that to me signals that you don't trust me very much. Like that, and it's like, if other people are like you and they don't trust me, good. They'll learn. They'll learn to trust. Like, if they're in that state right now where I haven't responded yet and it looks shady and they're going to jump to a conclusion that I might not be trustworthy, good. Because if they're jumping to those kind of conclusions, that's not the type of person I'm trying to chat with anyway. Like, if you can't give somebody the benefit of the doubt, I got nothing for you. Like, you have lived a hard life with people who've done really bad things to you, and I'm sorry that you project that on. I'm not saying this about you. I'm just saying, rhetorically speaking. You're projecting the shitty stuff that's done to you by other people on me. I ain't that dude. No, but you might be surprised, man. Some of these people may even know me better than you, depending on who it is. Because they're people I've talked to more than you. You've been around me longer, but some of these folks have been in my life specifically on a day-to-day basis. Not all of them. I'm sure there's some people there that, like I said, there may be people there who feel like you. So the feedback you're giving me is good. I want you to hear that what you're saying to me is good because it makes me think, oh, there may be people here like Jolly who think I'm up to something. But don't worry. Come Monday, everyone will know why I did it. But you still didn't answer my question. Why do you think I did it? Since you asked the question. He says, no, you're assuming about me. That's not correct. Okay, cool. I'm glad. Like I said, it's an impression. And I'm not assuming. I don't assume that's the way you are. I'm saying when I observe you, my impression is that you give me the vibe that you think shit is up sometimes. Like, why did he do this shit? Like, it looks like, why did he ask this question? It looks kind of shady. Like, that's kind of that's the vibe you give me. I'm not saying that's who you are. I may be, like I said, be misreading.
Come on, set. 15 Lonnie. Lonnie. Watch the run. Ready, go.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Scampering home from 19 yards out as his guys continue.
But think about it, Jolly. Like, you're talking about the community, but I really believe you're just projecting your own personality onto them. Why would you assume that they might think that? You know what I'm saying? Because that thought never entered my head. Because I don't have that brain that's looking for how's this motherfucker gonna try to get me? You know what I mean? Like, what you're talking about was alien to me. Like, what? People are actually thinking that? Well, people are weird. They'll figure it out.
And the route is on here in this first half.
Well, I didn't reply to those members because I haven't had time yet. Or that's not true. I haven't made the time to do it yet. I respond like the people on Discord should know because it's been announced 700 times that I ask these questions, and on Monday I come back to follow. Like, we have a thing called Spartan Time on Mondays where we get together and we have these discussions. But I'm not there every day looking at that shit. I get in there when I make the time to do it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, no, I got you, Jolly. Like I said, your feedback is good. I appreciate you bringing it to my attention because maybe I have a blind spot. To be real with you, what you're talking about from them other communities, the type of human that's going to jump to that conclusion is the person I don't want there anyway. Because it's like, you're so cynical. Like, just, you're going to be a very hard person to deal with because you don't trust anything. And it's like, just go be the loner you want to be where you don't have to trust anybody. And I'm exaggerating, obviously. But you never saw that announcement about Mondays. Well, and I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive, we started doing Spartan Time quite a bit before you ever showed up to start hanging with us. So the Spartan Time's been going on. Like, Spartan Time is something I've been doing for the Good Life Playbook. Like, it's not, Spartan Time is not unique to Discord. I just brought it to Discord. It's something I've actually been doing for 6 or 7 months now, I want to say. It's been a while. Boom. Jiggity-doo-doo. No. There we go. Oh yeah, I've mentioned Spartan Time 1,000 times. Yeah, and I'm sure there's some people who missed it. That's okay.
between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap.
Down the rail, baby. Get home. Way to go, Tony.
Score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
I'll let you do the analysis, partner. But with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws, and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both? I mean, why shouldn't we?
Yeah, Jolly. Jolly says, yeah, there's 150 plus members so far. I can't be the only one. Yes, you can't be. And on Monday, all of you who are being, this dude is shady, will get your answer. Tomorrow, I got to go help somebody move, so I'm not doing it tomorrow either. Like, while it may seem that a large portion of my life is dedicated to what I do on the internet, it's actually a very small portion of what I do.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carson Wentz and the Eagles getting sent to take over. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press, you'll make them.
But no, and Jolly, you're definitely not unique. Honestly, my experience with people on the internet, they're more like what I'm talking about with you than they are like me. They're very distrusting. Americans and Brits are the worst. They're just, everything is also, everyone's trying to rob me. Everybody's trying to take my money. It's like, dude, nobody wants your dumbass money. You ain't got no money. Go sit down. Yeah, like that's been my experience working on the internet. Is everybody thinks these scammers, like there's no everything that, like 99% of what I see people call scams are not by definition scams. People are just entitled and think everything is shady, or think that because a product didn't do what they thought it should do, that they were being robbed. It's like, what planet are we living in where people have this little resilience? It's like my example last night with the McDonald's drive-thru. Like, that's just... What are we talking about? Like, just be distrustful if that's what you are, and enjoy. You said, isn't that true for most streamers? Life is huge. Stream is just a small part. Probably. Like, I wouldn't even consider myself a streamer. Like, I stream, I guess, a lot. But I'm really just a mind surgeon that tries to come up in here and tell y'all some jokes so you can forget about your problems for an hour and get into your life and start making it better when tomorrow comes, because you're in a better mind state. Lisa's in the house.
They love to play defense.
Pull it together.
On first down, Chambers. And they'll get him down.
And then Jolly says, so, the thing about the proxy is, why in the hell would anyone want to interact more with the admin more than the actual leader or star of the show?
This offense one-dimensional.
Don't understand that statement.
To be honest, I did. I think
Why the hell would anyone want to interact more with the admin?
I think you're exactly right, because
I don't understand. Why do you think I think that?
they needed to broaden
Like, why is your assumption that I think people want to hang out more with you than me? Okay, let's say, assume you're the admin. Why do you think that's the conclusion I'm at? I don't think that.
they don't need to
What have I said that makes you assume I think people want to hang out more with you than me?
throwing on first down. Chambers.
You know, and I use you generically. I don't mean Jolly, but the admin. Let's just say you, because it makes the example easier. Let's see, I'm pretty trusting, but I think you may be more cynical of people who use the same verbiage as someone who just... Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, I've reached lots of millions of people. You cannot imagine the cynicism that I've received from people. Dude, I get emails from people, like, people will come on this show and tell me they love me. At 6 months from now, that person will be wishing me dead. Are you fucking kidding me? You goddamn right I'm a little cynical. Like, are you kidding me?
Have him on the move on first.
Like, that happened to me earlier this year. A dude basically wrote off my existence. I didn't even know who the guy was. He was angry, though. I was like, what the fuck did I say? And because I started going through what could he actually be angry at, and the only thing I can land on was, damn, he must have taken something I meant as a joke seriously. Like, what is this guy going on about? I've had death threats from people that wanted me dead, not just on the internet, in real life and business too. Like, yeah, I'm a little leery when people start asking those types of questions because it usually does not end well. It's not, those questions usually don't come from somebody that's wrapped all the way. It's somebody who's having an issue or two. So yeah, I am definitely more cynical because of my experiences.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch.
Let's see, I also wanted to respect that I think Turbo Lynn actually wrote an answer to the question and I wanted to read it, or wrote a question and I wanted to respond to it out of respect for what she was. She says, I will say here, what I am desperate for is the relationship growth with my friend. Obstacles are in his camp, his healing, and obstacles on my end still healing. Okay. So my question, so in your case, what I would come back to you with, if that was your question to me, is actually, and you guys will see this when I do start to respond. I'm not going to respond a lot with answers. I'll respond with more questions because I want you to flesh out these ideas and start to think about, okay, this is the big picture thing I want to have happen. What are the practical steps I'm already taking that are getting me closer? What are some things that I could stop doing that are keeping me away from it, right? And how can I amplify the stuff that's working? Right, so that's what I'd be asking you. Like, what are the things you're already doing to build you? And I know some of those answers because we talk, and it's what are you doing to build you? What is the other person doing on their end? Because there has to be accountability, right? If you're doing all this great work to make you into an awesome person, and they're not, you are unequally yoked, right? As the Bible says. So, and if you guys don't like the Bible, all the reference means is you're linking up with somebody who doesn't share your values. And like if you have two oxen and one is stronger than the other, let's say these are two oxen right here and they're pulling a cart. If this one's stronger than this one, that cart is never going to be straight. Right. So that's the type of the way that's the type of response I'd be looking at giving to you, which is, hey, how do we, what are the things that are working? What are the things that are not? And and then as you talk, I would probably have some ideas about, hey, have you tried this? Have you tried this? How's this working? Etc. The key is to keep you talking about the situation so that you can start to see the solutions to the challenges through your own thinking, through talking, right? And sharing. It's the same thing a therapist does. Just we don't call it therapy, technically. Okay, this is where Jolly's disconnected. Let me help him out. I got it. I'm with you, Jolly. Jolly says, having admins be more participatory in Discord to get everyone talking, saying it rises and falls on us. Members come here for you mostly. They don't. They come here. Let me help you, because no. Let me fix what I just said. You're right. They come here for me. They're going to stay here for y'all. My whole point of what I sent you guys, and this is what, like, you guys, I've got 20 years doing this shit, so I've done it and I've seen it. Not just on the internet, but doing, like, building companies in the real world. Like, if I built a church and I'm the pastor, you're going to come to the sermons because you heard I'm a badass fucking pastor. But guess what? When you get to that church, especially if it's a big one, you're not going to have a whole lot of interaction with me because I'm busy and I got 3,000 other members I have to care for. The people that are going to make you stay at that church are the people you work with in your small groups, right? Or your community groups. The people you come and do shit with are why you will stay in a community. A celebrity will, like Will Smith, will not keep anybody in a fucking community without other people there to keep them plugged in and connected. So yes, I can draw people to a platform, but you all will keep them there. And that's a thing that you need to know, because if you don't already know that and you're thinking it's just star power, you're out of your mind. There has to be activity. There has to be a reason why a human's going to show up. And the head of it can't be the one driving that charge. It has to be the people in the trenches, because you are the people they're going to interact with the most. Because there's, like, time is coming. These things that I'm setting up, guys, are not so that I can be more engaged. I am putting myself in position to be less and less engaged with the world as I build my whatever this is I'm up to, right? So, no, it's going to have to be other people keeping people engaged, period. So, no, what I'm talking about is not a proxy. It's not you playing my role. It's you playing your goddamn role, which is I brought him here. You motherfuckers keep them here if that's what you want. And that's why I said the message the way I did in the private chat, which is, this is up to you guys. I've built enough of these to know that if y'all don't get involved, this shit will be dead in the water. Period. It doesn't matter. I can post every day, all day, every day. It won't matter if there aren't other humans there to keep people engaged and keep them coming back to want to be a part of something you're all doing together, not just talking. Right? Now, I guess if I was Will Smith and I showed up every week to give a talk, but it's like, you don't need to come to Discord for that. You can go in 19,000 other places. Nobody's going to sign up for a Discord to do that. At least not where I'm at now. So yeah, no, I'm not asking you to be my proxy. I'm asking you to do your job, right? Which is the sustainment. We built it. I'm making them come, but you guys make them stay. The community is always what keeps people around. It's not the guy that's at the head of it. You know, you don't stay at the church you're in because the pastor's awesome. You stay there because there's probably someone else in the leadership that you're connected to that has a regular relationship with you that's helping you. So, unless you're at a small church and it's only 12 people and you can see the pastor every day. But if I have a hunch about what that Discord will turn into, it would be too big eventually for me to be even, like, if I'm there, I'm just going to be another guy there. Anyway, I didn't say all that right, but I think you get the gist of where I'm coming from. Because I've built other communities where I was violently involved every single day. And because, for whatever reason, my energy wasn't matched by the other people who were members of the community, for whatever reason, the community served its purpose and people didn't want to be a part of it anymore, and it stopped. There was nothing I could do to keep it going with my star power. It didn't matter. Because there was no reason for the people to be there other than there's this guy we kind of like a little. Because he says crazy shit. Hopefully some of that made sense. I know I'm all over the place trying to play a video game and have a coherent conversation. So this dude can make a jumping one-handed catch. Madden be cheating. Kaz says, hell yeah, most of the Discords I'm in, the people who the community is about are barely there. Yeah, it's the way it's always going to be. Hell, I mean, if you want an example, Kaz is running a community I started, and I don't even go to it anymore. And it's 1,000 times better since I left than when I was there. Ooh, that linebacker slid into coverage. Nice little move there. You punk bitch, messing up my play. That was a good play, though. I got to give him props. Either that or it was a bad play by me. I hate that damn wheel route. Get outside, Dad. I need space, man. Widen out the damn wheel route so I can get you the ball in space. That was a touchdown. I'm sitting here cussing out my dad. Like, if we played football together, let's be yell, Dad, come on, get wide.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15.
So Jolly says, I guess my thing is I don't exactly know how to help, but that's okay. We can help you with that part. Or give to this particular community because what I receive, I don't necessarily give. Qualify that statement for me, brother. What are you receiving that you think you don't necessarily give? I'd be very curious to know why you feel that way. What are you getting from the community that you don't feel like? Is it a capability? You can't give it? You don't want to give it? What's the it? Woo! That dude got a broken knee on that play. And that's right. I'm totally not respecting Murph, who also had a huge hand in orchestrating all of that club rock. Yes, thank you, Kaz, for bringing up. Murph is another guy who's a big part of our community and keeping stuff going. So, yeah, Murph, shouts out to Murph at RPG Club. Because was it you or was it Murph that had the idea to take it to Reddit? Because that was genius. I was like, whoever came up with that, I should have done that from the beginning. As much as Reddit can be a pain in the ass, it definitely, if you get in the right community, it's dope. You get in one of those elitist super bitchy people communities where they're so entitled, it's terrible. But they're like the RPG community in Reddit. I love those guys. They want a couple of them helped me tremendously when I was making content by like giving me hard critique. Like, hey, bro, like you're great at this, and nobody gives a fuck. It was like, ooh, that hurt to hear, but I'm glad he said it. And it was like that was one of the reasons why I got out of the business, because it was like I was getting feedback from people who I was like, I'm making this content for this guy, and if he's telling me fuck you, great. We'll shut this down today. Thank you. It's mostly on Discord now, though. Right. Exactly. But when it was on Reddit, I was like, dang, how did we not think of that? It was genius. Although, I mean, technically Reddit didn't exist when we started it. Hell, Facebook didn't exist when I started it. Social media didn't exist when I started the RPG Club. Or, I think MySpace did exist when I started it. But RPG fans weren't to be caught dead on MySpace. At least not the ones I knew. Like, MySpace. That's for fools.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
All right, let's give me a time check. Ah, it's break time, y'all. Take a quick break. We're going to come back and make it happen. I'm looking forward to continuing this conversation with Kaz and Jolly, too. This is great. Jolly, thank you for bringing this up tonight, bro. You have no idea how valuable this conversation is to me. Thank you. Thank you for being you, man. I will be right back. Let's pause here. I'm trying to orchestrate something to work in concert, and I'm failing at it. All right, I'll be right back. Jolly talked about me being cynical. It made me laugh because it's like I think about looking at the numbers of who's here tonight. Like math tells me at least 2 people who are here tonight are going to hate me in the next 2 years because of something. It's just, they love you now, boy. But they can easily hate you tomorrow. So let's tell the Target story, man. And that's why I tell you guys, man, with showbiz, you got to do it for you, man. You have to be, if you're going to get into entertaining, you better do it for you. Because if you are only doing it for an audience, prepare to be very disappointed when they are done using you for their dopamine fix. And I know that sounds kind of cold, as if like the audience is evil and they're using you. I don't mean it that way. But I imagine that if y'all's kids caught COVID, you would be slightly more concerned with that than knowing that mine did. It's just kind of the way the world works. I see things a little bit maybe without the rose-colored glasses that the world likes. But I don't know. Who knows what the hell I'm talking about? Where's my mouse? So I can get this thing back rolling. Speaking of Discord, who here on the stream isn't on our Discord server yet? Let's get that squared away. Also, you need to be over 21 though. So if you're under 21, just keep hanging. Eventually, we'll let you in there. Kid wants some orange juice, says Kaz. Go get it, Kaz. Cool. All right. Let's get back to it.
Well, as you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now a fake on the give here.
Wentz, you got to get rid of the ball, dude. What are you doing, Big Lou? Big Lou. I love Big Lou. Jolly says, well, honestly, I'm only here because you transitioned from a YouTube only to Facebook and then to TikTok and then back to YouTube and now on Discord. I'm just kind of following. Your message isn't my message. I just like the company and I still say you saved my life, so I help where I can. I'm not really sociable all the time. In fact, I kind of hate it. Well, you and I relate to that. Also, I don't really know what to say. Okay. So when you say our messages aren't the same, what do you mean by that? What is my message to you? I love this. Man, this, God. Do you understand businesses, how much businesses pay to have these conversations with, I don't consider Jolly a customer. I consider him a friend. But make no mistake, his feedback will fuel a lot of things that are happening here. Do you know how much businesses pay to get this kind of feedback? And I can turn on a stream and y'all will come. That's what I love about y'all, man. Y'all are the best. Y'all, I keep making this shit because of y'all. Please know that. Because I can play Madden by myself. I am here because I love being able to say something to y'all, no matter what it is or what it means. If it gives you something positive, I win. And I love that, man. I'm obsessed with doing that for people. And y'all let me do it, and then you support me in ways that I don't even think you guys... I think you guys take for granted how much of a blessing you are to me. So I just want to thank y'all for that. And thank Jolly for having... this is a valuable conversation to have with people who are on my team, a part of what I'm doing. I love this.
But you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it.
Oh, come home, baby. Come on, Joey. Pocket Thought says, hey, B, did you change your number on Signal? No. I'll hit you up.
And not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they got a few words to say to the QB, aren't they?
Did you send me a message that I haven't responded to, Pocket? Because it's right here. Did you send me a message and I just haven't responded? Let me take a gander here. Pocket Thoughts, Pocket Thoughts.
Might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Who the hell is that? Man, you want to talk about something that'll make your brain melt? Log into your old Signal and scroll through the people who have sent you messages knowing that your father has passed away and it just says Dad Chambers. That'll fuck you up. And he sent me a message. Like, I don't know what this means. I don't know who that is. But sheesh. Okay, so no, Pocket hadn't sent me anything. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing a message. He says, if you want to pay, I won't say no. That's funny. Tristan says, just answered the question on Discord. I missed it initially. Awesome. Pocket's Thought says, I can get Jolly sentiment. Well, several actually. Yeah, talk to me about it. Let me hear it.
These guys have punted 4 times already.
All right, so Jolly says, your message, you want to reach 1 billion people? No, I don't. No, I don't. I think I kind of jokingly said that. Like, it was kind of like, let's make a ridiculous goal. I don't want to reach 1 billion people, but let me keep reading. And make a difference in their lives, whether it's directly... Okay, so you don't want to help people? You don't want what you're up to help people? Is that what you're saying? You want to kill people? I'm being sarcastic. Okay, let's. I love this card. God, this is so much fun. Pocket Thoughts thought I was mad at her. You sent several. No, Pop. No, ma'am. I'm looking at the feed right here, and no, I'm not. Why would I be mad at you? For what? What would I ever have to be mad at any of y'all? Like, my life is like I'm Santa Claus, man. I'm living the dream. Why would I be angry? What could I possibly have to be angry at you about? Name one thing that on this planet that I could possibly be angry at you about. By the way, I don't stay in anger. Like, that's such a not useful emotion unless I'm lifting weights. Like, I don't live in that. It's a very useless emotion at times. It just makes you depressed. But yeah, no, I'm not angry. But I don't have any messages from you though, milady. They're not coming through. And I don't know why. Because, like, my last message was tonight at 9 o'clock. And I got nothing. Or unless maybe it was much longer ago. Let me keep going. No. You said I checked him and didn't respond? I got nothing, boss. When did you send these messages? Are you sure they're going to me? Like, you sure you don't have me listed in your phone as another person by, like, mistake or something? Let me do a search. That'll go faster. But no, I'm not mad at you, milady, at all. I have no reason to be. That's right. You actually go by your real name on here. Okay, are you talking about the quotes from the stream? Because if you're talking about the quotes from the stream, I did see that message. I didn't have anything to add other than thank you. Here you go. Here we go. Boom. I'm sorry. The message I saw when I read it, to me, it just didn't warrant a response. It was like, oh, she did this. Awesome. Thank you so much. Hey, I see you texting me. No, you are texting me. We're good. Yeah, and like the message you sent me way before that, my wife was traveling, I was home alone with my kids. Like, yeah, I just got lost in the shuffle. Yeah, like you sent me that in the height of planning kids' birthdays. My wife was out of town. I didn't even see that message. So that's all. It was just a straight up oversight, lady. No anger. I have no reason to be angry. Like, I don't go around being angry at people. That is a useless use of your emotions. Like, and truthfully, honestly, Pocket Thoughts, I feel like I have a relationship with you that if I had some type of anger or resentment towards you for something that you had done, I respect you enough that I would get in touch with you and talk about it. I will never ghost somebody I care about because I'm angry. That's some coward bullshit. I'm not doing that. Like, if I'm angry and I care about you, we're going to talk about it. Like, if somebody's just a piece of crap and I don't want to be around them, yeah, but you're different. You're a person who I care about and want to see have a great life. Let's see. Jolly says, I mean, that's not my mission to help a ton of people. I want to live my life for self-fulfillment, and I help others along my journey. Dude, we're on the same mission. That's why, I think you just have this picture of what I'm doing that's more grandiose than what it is. We're doing exactly the same thing. I tell dumbass jokes on YouTube, and some artists and entrepreneurs get something good out of it, and they feel good about themselves. I bake in a couple of messages that make them, able to think through some things and hopefully help. They say things back to me that help me. We all go to bed happier, wake up tomorrow and have a great life and get after it. Like, what I'm doing is no different than what you're doing. You're making what I'm doing sound more epic. That 1 billion people shit is horse shit. I don't give a damn about numbers. I want to reach, I'll tell you, I reached a kid the day I started pulling myself off social media. I was like, if I don't reach anybody beyond that, I won. I could stop today. I'm just obsessed because I've been given so much in my life. I feel an obsession to give back. But it's no different. I want self-fulfillment. Like, make no mistake, I'm helping y'all because I'm selfish and that shit makes me feel good. Not because I'm the fucking Dalai Lama. Like, I feel good when I help other people. And I learned that early. It was like, oh, I can be incredibly selfless, but that's my way of being selfish. Because I get the benefit out of loving on people. But we up to the same shit. I think what you may be thinking through, if I can encourage you a bit, is you think that my message sounds more hardcore. So, no, it's, can I help another human's life get just 0.00008% better? If I do that, I win. And so you're thinking, how can I talk to these people? Tell them your story the same way you're going to act in those. Tell us your story about acting. You know how many people who want to be acting that haven't had the courage to do it, and they're going to talk to you and know that you and I worked together and then you went and did it? Just telling your story about being an actor, think of how encouraging that is to another human soul. Like, what I do to help, most of what I do to help is not the messages and the teaching. It's being present with another human being so that they know another human being who might be worth something that's not zero gives a fuck about them long enough so they can kick ass. That's all I'm up to. And that's the same thing you're doing. And yes, I'm doing it for selfish ass reasons because it feels good. And so don't think that what you need to see is more value in your message, bruh. You need to stop asking, what should I say to these people? Tell us your story. We need to know. Because we get courage when we hear people go through hardship, but they got to the other side of it. When Dave Chappelle told me, because I went through this phase in my business years ago. When Dave Chappelle told me when he was doing the Chappelle show, he was broke. Do you know how free that set me? That this famous man who I've idolized for God knows how many years, I built some of the shit I do off of him. And he was broke. I remember I was making 6 figures back then and broke as fuck because I live in a place that requires you to be a trillionaire to exist. You know? And hearing that somebody else who's way more successful than me was also struggling, I was like, oh. And it gives you the courage to be like, oh, I can keep killing too. And then eventually you get out of that and you keep just telling that little story right there is so much more powerful than you're giving it credit for, man. Your story's got power in it, and you're helping people just by being present and letting them know you're here. And you're like, I'll tell you right now, the greatest value, and this is what I tell moms all the time, is like, cut yourself some slack. Like, moms are always too hard on themselves. I'm like, hey, listen, have you been in your kid's life pretty much every day since they were born? Hey, guess what? You already did better than my parents. You're winning way harder than I think you give yourself credit for, man. Slow it up, slow it. Okay, we got it.
Get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way, work him out of the slot and create a mismatch.
He says, look, man, I heard you mention repeatedly about reaching 1 billion people. I'm sure I did. Everything I say is horse shit. Dude, I exaggerate and talk shit 24/7. When has that changed? I get it. I'm sure there's a time where I was saying that to talk myself into some mindset bullshit. But no, dude, I've already reached 1 billion people. I did it. We won, and it sucked. Keep going. It's over. You know, and there was a time, probably if you go back far enough, where I thought that was a goal. I give two shits as a non-egotistical adult at this point. You know, and you'll learn that too. You'll grow and change. Your vision will change. Your dreams will change. My wife's going through that right now, trying to figure out, wait a minute, is this my actual dream? Like, glad you asked. That's a great question to ask before you commit your life to this. But yeah, no, I got you, man. I hear you. I'm confusing as fuck. Just say that. I got it.
As his guys continue to pour it on.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of his NFL thing pretty quickly.
That 3 touchdown passes.
Dang, Turbo. Yowza.
In particular,
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Let's see, you're cringing between Jolly and Pocket. Let me see what's going on. I'm missing some of the conversation. You cringed between Jolly and Pocket. Yeah. It changed in 1999. Yeah, no, I remember talking about reaching 1 billion people, but it wasn't like a statement of... It wasn't like, here's a specific... Because how do you ever know when you reach 1 billion people? What my point was, there's no way for me to magnitudely... And let me be clear what I meant by reaching 1 billion people. I didn't mean that my content is going to reach... And I've actually stated this directly. So here, let me clarify this 1 billion people horse shit. I never intended for me to reach 1 billion people. And I have said this. I intended... Like, think about it this way. Christ, I'm not comparing myself to him as a person, but Christ... has reached about 1 billion people. Somewhere in there. A couple bill. He didn't go talk to 1 billion people. What I was saying was I want the things that I say and the things that I do for people to spread out over time to help 1 billion or billions of people. I am not delusional. I don't have delusions of grandeur enough to think that I am personally going to have 1 billion people following me around. That's some YouTube subscriber horseshit. So let me clarify that. When I was talking about billion people, I didn't mean me directly. I meant I'm going to reach you. You're going to reach 100. Those 100 are going to reach their own people. You see what I mean? That's what I meant. Maybe I needed to be more clear when I was talking about it, but I didn't mean I'm going to have 1 billion people. I'm not trying to be Joe Rogan, right? Because when I got to the point where millions of people were paying attention to what I was saying, it was that I had that Dave Chappelle moment. It was like, I need to get my Africa tickets ready. Like, and Dave Chappelle taught me that. He's like, all right, if you get to a certain place, you better have your Africa tickets ready. And I laughed that off. And then I got to that place he was talking about. I was like, oh, this is the Africa tickets part. Shit, right? And so you refine it, but it was never, I never wanted like 1 billion followers. Fuck that. Like, I'll be good with just the 5,000 followers that I have that are actual followers. I don't need more than that. But what I want to have happen is the good that we, and I don't mean when I talk about 1 billion, it's not just me. Like when I talk about the Bryant Chambers movement, what we are up to, I want to spread out and reach billions of people. That I do want to happen. But this idea of me, having 1 billion viewers, I don't want to be Joe Rogan. Do you want his headaches? No. Hell no. I gotta freaking have a moat and crocodiles and dragons and shit projecting my house. Fuck all of that. I will be glad to remain in obscurity. And I mean that. So, did that clear it up? Did that settle the score? Yeah, but Jolly, my whole point to you is our missions are the same. You're just I am assuming, correct me, please correct me, that you're just seeing billion and thinking, well, I'm not up to that, but you are. The shit that you're up to will eventually, given enough centuries, reach 1 billion people. That's all I meant. Like, I honestly just think maybe you undervalue what you're up to, and I think you should value it higher. Yeah, Clem said it. You're the voice. Y'all are the movement. I'm the mouthpiece. That's what I've always said. And Jolly says, yeah, you said all that. Okay, cool. We're on the same page then. I just think your whole question is predicated on an insecurity that maybe people aren't going to value you as much as they should. And I think it starts with you having a higher value of the things you're up to. When you told me you were acting, and see, here's what you don't know about me, because I don't think we've had this conversation to this level of magnitude. When I found out that you were acting, dude, I teared up. I said, this motherfucker did it. Like, he took all that shit we were talking about, all them nights on the live streams, all them nights on the coaching calls, and all the fear, all the shit that he had to deal with in his family, and all his problems, and all his shit, and he took that, and he went and fucking did it. I said, if he ever becomes Denzel Washington, it doesn't matter. He did that shit, and nobody can say he didn't have the courage to show up and be a fucking warrior. I'm tearing up now talking about it, because it was like somebody, like, and that's what it means like when I was a football coach. I'll never take for granted. It still makes me cry to think of one of my kids. These are happy tears. I know I cried on the last show. These are happy. One of my kids had his first touchdown. And I ran on the field, motherfucker. And the head coach had to grab me because I was matter of fact, I was still playing football at the time, intramural. I think I was still in college playing intramural football. So I was still thinking like a player. And it was just, you see this kid who can't catch. And this isn't a comparison to you because I know you can act. I've seen you get after it. But this kid couldn't catch when I got him. And then to see him morph in a couple of weeks into this kid that catches a damn post route in the end zone like it's like Jerry Rice. It's like, oh my God, to see somebody who wanted something so bad and couldn't do it, but then got after it, he did a little work with me. I don't take any credit for it because he showed up every day to track practice and took those ass whippings that I doled out. And next thing you know, he's catching touchdowns in a game and he's looking like, Coach, I did it. Like, yes, motherfucker. I didn't say that to a child, obviously. They were high school kids, but it was like, yes, you did. And you always could. Like I knew, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it like I always do, but it just sounds to me like maybe you value what you're up to less. In terms of how it helps other people. Not that you devalue what you're up to, but that maybe you just don't see how what you're up to inspires others. You inspire me. Not that I'm anybody special, but not for nothing. Anyway.
Extra point forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Let's see, Jolly says, I may be winning in relation to others, but I live in my own success, and it's nowhere near where I want and know it can be. Let me help you. Neither is Tom Cruise's. And if you want proof of that, I'll tell you the actor who said that shit, not to me, but I heard him say it. Tom Cruise is not satisfied with where he is. You picking up what I'm putting down? Tom Cruise today is not 100% satisfied with where he is. Y'all got to start watching these interviews that I watch. And you'll learn so much just from, listen to interviews of your favorite people. You'll learn so much just from listening to, you'll learn even more sometimes than books. That's one of my secret sauces. I'm going to give it to you. Listen, if you have a person that you want to be like, listen to every interview they've ever done. They'll tell you every secret. You don't have to buy a course. You don't have to do shit. They'll tell you, and that's why I've baked all my secrets to the shit that I've been up to into my shows. It's like, I have courses, but my courses were always focused on training, hopefully more than educating. It's like, you can get the education on YouTube. I want to be here to help people actually do this stuff, But anyway, I don't know that I succeeded in that, but I tried. Jolly says, and yes, I severely undervalue myself a lot, and I'm still working on it. Well, that'll be part of my job to help you get better at that. I'll take on that responsibility to help you. Tristan says, I appreciate this conversation. I often leave a lot of things unsaid because I don't feel like I have a lot. Guys, you have more to offer than you can ever imagine. A freaking multi-millionaire looked me dead in the eyes. He was like, you have no idea what you've done for me and my business. right? And like I hang around successful people all the time, but this dude is on a whole other level. And it was just like, damn. You just never know how stuff that you think is so. And let me take it out of the realm of millions and all this money. Like a YouTube guy who I helped once upon a time, and I didn't do anything great. I helped him get out of a copyright issue because I own copyrights. I used to manage copyrights for another business. I know how it works. And I just helped him out. I think we helped him get his channel unlocked. Whatever we did, we helped him. That dude helped fund the shows we were making for the whole time I ran those shows and was still sending us money after we stopped. I mean, he doesn't do it now because everything ended. But he was still sending us money when the show ended. And all I did for him was, to me, help him out of a little problem. That dude sent me money out of what he was making in his business every month. And just as a thank you, he wasn't a client. I helped him for free. I was like, I just want to help the guy because he's cool as shit. You never know how something you're doing that seems small means the entire planet to somebody else. It means the planet. I took my kid out to throw the football with him before people got COVID. And you would have thought I was, I just gave him $10 million. I'm telling you, and you know this. I'm not telling you nothing you don't know. You're a smart dude. Like, it's the small things that matter the most. It's always like my wife calls me last night. She's like, thank you so much for the anniversary trail mix toffee popcorn you sent down. She's like, your wife. You went to that store. You knew I wasn't feeling good. She's like, you remembered it was our anniversary. I completely forgot. And she's been sick. She's trying to be healthy. I'm not sentimental, so I don't care that she didn't remember. It was just like, I got it. And I gave her a gift, and she had just started to get her smell and taste back. She was love showering me for 10 minutes last night about that damn popcorn. Because in the moment, that popcorn meant the world to her, to have something that tasted good. She had just gotten her smell back, and it's a food she loves so much. Come on. It's the little things that matter the most, guys. It's always the little things. Like, I remember when I was super young, I thought the day I started, making... When you cross that 6-figure threshold as an earner, I thought that was going to be like a parade and a celebration. Like, that was actually the most miserable time of my life. Getting that money was correlated with the worst time of my professional life. Right? Actually, my personal life was struggling too. It's not the big hurdles you get over, guys. It's the little ones. It's the little things that always end up mattering most. At least in my experience. Don't let me tell y'all how to think and feel.
That's a huge difference in the ball game. In this case, they were able to retain possession.
Woo! Damn, how many times are y'all gonna fumble? Y'all suck. Like, I'm getting mad that y'all suck so bad.
This is really, really difficult for teams to coach because you love the extra effort, right? When you break a couple of tackles,
See, Brandon L. Wells in the house. What? What up, B? Good to see you, man. It's another one of my Spartans in the house. Hey, B, wanted to thank you for your help and guidance. Your message has helped me grow so much over the last few months. So if anybody wants to know what this message and all this stuff we're talking about is, I'll give you guys the... down there in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen is my mentorship and advisory group that I run. And these are some of the guys that are in it. Let me actually call a play and act like I'm doing a stream here. Brandon says... to seek how to win and begin to really believe and live myself. I love you, brother. Thank you so much. You honor me with your words. And it's been, you don't understand how much of a tremendous blessing it is to get your messages every day and hear you fired up about the progress you're making. And to, even when you're down, when things aren't going right, but the tenacity you have in your voice and in your mind and in your words, it's like, yep. It's fun, man. I mean, you guys on this stream make it fun to get out of bed every day. And that's what I always wanted for my life. Was just, I want every day when I wake up, I want to be excited about the stuff I'm doing. And believe me, there was a time in my business and professional life where I had a ton of gratitude and had a ton of contentment because I was blessed. Don't get me wrong, but I had a lot of things that weren't the way I wanted them to be, and they were very painful. Right? So, had a lot of misery. So you're amazing, Brandon. Thank you. Well, and Jolly, some of what's going to help you, like you were talking about, you're not very social. Well, part of the reason why you're not as social is because of the shit that happens to guys like us, right? And so what the key is, starting to get social with those of us who can help you build, like having people in your life that add energy instead of sucking energy out of you. Like I am practiced at my life and have been since I was a little kid because my mother and my father, there's one thing they taught me was don't let shitty people in your life ever. It's why on the internet, I don't mince words when I'm talking to the crowds of people that I don't want anything to do with. You know, the cowardly people that want to make you responsible for their feelings and their existence. Like all of y'all could die tomorrow and I wouldn't even probably know or care. But
Getting set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
sorry, I saw a statement that caught my eye and I didn't want to lose it. I know I stopped right there in the middle of my thought. So getting around those of us who add energy to your life instead of take energy away. Because then you will start to, like, you're not going to get all the confidence you need by yourself. You need other people around you, especially people that you look up to a degree or in some way. Who, and when they tell you, yeah, man, you're kicking ass, it's like, oh, shit, well, that guy thinks I'm kicking ass. Like, do you understand why do you guys understand why I quit every other show I've ever done on YouTube and why Game Therapy hasn't quit yet? Do you guys know why? Because the 3 text messages I got from entrepreneurs that told me this shit is everything. This is what I've been looking for. Like, entrepreneurs, not gamers, not nerds. Entrepreneurs texted me and said, I hope you keep this going. This shit is helping me. Not just have fun at night, but get better at the things I'm doing as a person and in my business, because I have this place to go where people give a shit about me and we can have some fun and let our hair down and build each other. It's the only reason I'm still doing it. Every other show I did came to an end because I wasn't getting the desired effect. It wasn't having the impact. And that all of that was my fault. I don't blame the audience. I don't blame YouTube. I don't blame TikTok. All the stuff that didn't work was because Chambers didn't have enough of one of 2 things, empathy or skill. This show had the right amount of empathy, and it finally hit the right note where people started to take notice. But I had to go through, 2021? Was that 11 years of trying different shit before one actually hit? And who knows, maybe this will end in a month. I don't know. But right now, I'm getting phone calls from people who invest in companies saying, hey, yo, yeah, more Game Therapy. And when you get that phone call from an entrepreneur you look up to, my whole thought process and insecurity was entrepreneurs are going to see this and be like, what the fuck is this idiot doing? And what I found was that's how the gamers respond to me. But all the entrepreneurs were like, no, we totally get it. I got a phone call from an entrepreneur who was actually on the call, and he's like, dude, I saw that Game Therapy show. I was like, you watched it? He was like, yeah. He's like, bro, the shit you say on that show, I was blown away. Like, what? Like, that's the feedback. That's what you don't realize you're up to, is building stuff like that, man. But it's all because of y'all. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It's all because of y'all. Yeah, I like that comment, Clem. You said always be hungry, never be satisfied. I say that differently, but I like the way, I might start saying it your way. I like the way you say that. Get in that end zone, ho! Mine was always be content, never be satisfied. But I like hungry. I think I like hungry better. I like that.
Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And boy, it was brilliant.
No, the key is to eat like rich Europeans. Always leave a little bit of room in your tummy. That's what I mean by always. The statement, Turbo, isn't always be ravenous. It's always be hungry. Like, eat enough to sustain yourself, but leave a little bit of space in the tank to always want more is the point. It's not always be starving. It's always be hungry. Like, always leave a little bit there. You can get the nutrition you need. You can be full and hungry at the same time. If that makes any sense.
touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take
Woo!
charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback.
Jolly says, you all...
Team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go. Because they still have
Shake it off. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
Here's Hines. And not much to
See, Turbo says, wow, B, you picked up on something I'm prone to miss. What's that? About your hungry statement. What are you prone to miss, milady? I'd love to hear more.
completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going to the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Dang, there was nobody back there to get the kick? Oh, I called the wrong play. That's funny. I take stuff so literally. That's okay. I do sometimes too, lady. How about that? We all do, don't we? Yeah, and it's more, I just know people are used to thinking in extremes instead of thinking on spectrums. So it's like, you can be full and still feel a little bit of hunger, right? Because you were properly nourished. Because remember, there's a theory out there, and I like the theory because it definitely applies to me, but that's anecdotal evidence and not science. But Americans, especially because we have overabundant access to food, we actually get hungry when we're bored. Like, we eat for dopamine just as much, not as much, but sometimes we're eating for dopamine more than nourishment, and our bodies have learned to tell us with our stomachs that we're hungry when we're not. I've heard that theory, and it makes a lot of sense to me, because it's like, I'm fully nourished. Why do I still feel hungry? It's like, well, because you're an American who's been trained to eat for pleasure, not just for nourishment. So what I'm saying is, eat for nourishment, right? And leave a little space in the tank. But we're used to thinking in extremes. It's like, well, if I'm full, I can't also be hungry. It's like, full of what, though? Like, if your belly is completely full, you're right, but you may have filled it up with a bunch of empty, useless calories that are going to make us all fat. Versus being nourished, right? Being fully nourished, you can still be hungry. It's just, we're not usually conditioned to think in terms like that. But you're not alone in taking things literally. People get on my case for that all the time because I misunderstand them. Like, hey, I'm doing the best I can, yo. Come on, Pops, get upfield, Dad. Stay in bounds. All right, let's see. What do I want on this next one? I want to go to the crib on this one.
He's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space.
Scheiße. What are you doing, dude? Messed up the whole rhythm of my play. we still were able to improv and make something happen, baby. That's what you can count on me for, dog. I'll get you out of trouble. I ain't gonna let us get shanked now. But the defensive coordinator must have known what I was trying to do, because he took what I was trying to do completely away from me, and then it threw off the whole rhythm of what I was trying. It's like, dang it! Now I gotta run the ball because I got too complacent trying to make this play work.
And the Giants have extended their lead. Eli Manning, 2 touchdown passes to lead the way. Looking to throw. Chambers.
What the hell?
Backs the ball away, and it falls
This is not how I was trying to throw that ball, but live your dream, Madden.
hand in and knocked it free. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10.
Yeah! No, don't run backwards! Yeah, ho! Get off me, son! Still getting yardage, bitch! 7 feet tall! Showing them how to do it. Get in there, Zach! That's my son right there, showing him how it's done. Get there, get in there, underneath, got him. There you go, look at the juke, the footwork, yes, oh, he kissed him, he went up to him, did the toe tap, kissed him on the cheek, and took it to the crib. Look at this move, gone. Oh, I get too hyped when I'm playing football. I gotta bring that down. Bring that, like, dude, that he kissed that dude on the cheek when he juked by him. That's, woo. And it's funny because my son, that just scored, like, he's athletic like that. He's the most athletic out of all my kids, the guy that just scored the touchdown. And, like, he's like that. He's like watching a professional athlete play as a toddler because he picks things up, his spatial reasoning, like, he's off the freaking chain as an athlete, man. Like, I taught him how to do form running as a sprinter to help him get faster. He picked it up after just showing it to him one time and started running his hill sprints fast. Like, this kid's on to something. He's a beast. Brandon E says, the thing you said that has hit me the hardest was when you said we want things to be complicated and easy when in reality life is simple and hard. Yeah. But it's because your your education system conditions you to think that way, right? Because of ignorance. Like, things are, like, business is not terribly complicated. It's just effing hard to get somebody to want to buy something from you. And if you can't, like, understand the building blocks, for example, of sales, you can't a lot of times run an effective business because of how impossible it is to understand how to influence somebody to want to spend money with you and the amount of value you have to give another human being before they're willing to open their wallet. Most humans underestimate how hard that is, so they come up with, I'm going to write a 5-year business plan. In 5 years, we're going to be on Mars. That's not going to make any sense. Like, they make all this complicated stuff that feels like progress. It's like, just go make a sale. Literally, just go sell something out of the back of your car. Prove to me that you can sell it, then we can make a business. All this complicated damn 5-year planning bullshit is your insecurity trying to make something happen in a way that's very much American school system and labor force, not the way building businesses works, right? It's very, like, building business is very counterintuitive at times, but it's not complicated. It's just hard. You know, and people don't respect how hard it is. And when they get into it and start getting that ass whooped, it's like, damn. This, you know, they start to say, oh, well, social media doesn't work or this doesn't work. It's like, no, you have not gotten your lumps. You have not gotten your ass whooped enough to learn how to do it right. And most people don't want to hang out in a boxing ring with Mike Tyson in his prime beating the shit out of you, which is basically starting a business is signing up to box Mike Tyson for free. And then if you win, you get paid at the end. It's like, goddamn, like, who would ever start a business? Nobody. Like, you're going to fight Mike Tyson. If you lose, you get nothing. If you win, you get paid. And you don't get to leave the ring until you win. That's business. Is you're going to get in there with Mike, and he's going to beat your ass until you become a better fighter than him. And then when you do finally beat him, you're going to kiss him in his face and say, thank you for making me into the person I needed to be for my people, so I can run an effective business that actually helps the world and doesn't take things away from it. That's what you want.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
That's a good point, Ryan. There's got to be, we should unpack that on one of our stay up till 7 o'clock in the morning talking about business and all the other shit we're trying to do to save the world. By the way, you've been making me work a lot. When am I getting paid? You've been making me work late hours. Oh, God. The answer is never. Entrepreneurs work for free. Get your ass out of here. Although I think I'd use the word work loosely. relationship to that.
They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
Yeah, slide over safety. Oh, shit! How did you not see that? Come back and get it.
Up in their own territory. Why would you change anything? They've got to be they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And now he's
Kaz is back from Orange Juice acquisition.
That is career catch 699. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining.
Get in the weight room. I've actually heard guys say that on the field. That's pretty accurate. In fact, I can name the guy who's Tyrann Mathieu. I heard say it. Can any of you catch today? What is my passing percentage? 50? Because you suck? Y'all better get y'all's ass together on what you think this is. Shit.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little.
I'm the best quarterbacks ever played the game. What the fuck you think this is? Y'all got me out here punting. Punting!
Football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Your mama's a play selection. Shut up. Damn it, B. Oh, this controller pisses me off.
And he gets it away, and it's a laser. Headed for the sideline.
33. Damn it.
Punt over the side in the air.
What did I punt it? 4 yards?
Inside the 35.
Stupid controller. I'm blaming everybody but myself for this failure. This is not how you do leadership.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simple.
He says, breathe, Mr. 255 to 1. That's 0, sir. This team has, you offend me saying this team scored on me. It's 0. Ooh, Zach, you can't be missing tackles like that. And I'm pointing at myself like he had anything to do with it. That was all you, Chambers.
So when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess
That's right. We have yet to hear this Target story. So I'm at Target yesterday getting stuff that my people need to exist. And I check everything out. Long story short, I get back to the car and I realize I didn't pay for the almond milk. So I walk back up to the store. And this just shows you the state that people's minds are in. I'm at the car. I see it and I'm like, I don't think I rung that up. Because I was doing self-checkout. And it was just one of those things where it was in the basket and I just didn't see it. And so I'm sitting in the car, and I go through 2 thoughts. My first thought is, let's go back inside and pay for it, because that's the right thing to do. My second thought was, I'm tired, and I guarantee Target gives 0 shits that I just walked out of here with this milk. But then the next thought was, you know what? I hope one day in my business, when I make a mistake or a customer makes a mistake, they'll have integrity and help me out. I said, so I went back in there to pay for the milk. I walked the milk up. I go up to the customer service counter because I was like, I'm not standing in line to do this. If they let me not stand in line. I just say, hey, my man, I walked out of here without paying for this. My bad. Can I just, he's like, and the look on his face was like, oh, fuck you. I was sitting here chilling and now you're going to make me do work. Like, his response wasn't, oh, thank you for bringing back the thing that helps pay my salary. He was like, oh, this guy's going to make me do work. So I'm thinking in my head, maybe I should have just kept the milk and walked. But then he says to me, you know what, dude? Yeah, come on. He's like, because you only have one thing, I'll ring you up. And he was cool to me. I was like, hey. But it was just so funny that Target gave 0 shits. And I walked out. It's like, I could have just gone home. But I was like, you know what? Nah. I'm going to go back in and pay for it. Because hopefully one day somebody will look out for me like that. I was like, I'm just going to pay that forward. I'm going to put that one in the bank. And hopefully one day, someone will do me a solid. But it was just hilarious. I walked in and nobody cared. It was just like, oh, you stole the milk? Why'd you come back? I didn't steal it. Because that would imply that I intended to walk out. I didn't intend to walk out of here without paying for it. I accidentally did it. But now I'm here with my money in hand.
space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. It's a first down for the Reds.
Thank you for reminding me, Anjo.
aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And now running right through it. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage.
Kaz says he's just an hourly worker. He doesn't have to ring you up and get paid. That's a good point. He doesn't have to ring you up to get paid.
Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably
And then I went to GameStop to get 2 of my kids' Christmas gifts. Actually, the reason I went in there was just because I was happy to be out of the house for 5 seconds. I've been locked in this joint for a week on quarantine. I was like, all right, let me just go hang. I've tested myself and I have on a mask. Everybody's safe. And I have on a mask that actually stops shit, not just those dumbass blue masks people are wearing like that does something. But, I mean, it doesn't do nothing. But, yeah. Anyway, that's funny. Hourly worker. But I went to GameStop, and then my guy hooked me up with a bunch of free stuff, which they tend to do when I go there. They're really sweet people there, man. I know GameStop takes L's in the media because of their corporate policies, but at an individual level, I've had a lot of great experiences at GameStops because of the humans who work there, not because of the corporation. In fact, I'd say that the humans were actually creating an environment that was making better what the corporation wasn't making great. Like the humans, like my guy Ray that used to run, Ray's been on the show before. He's actually come on these streams, and I love that dude, man. He just was always when he was there, and now there's other people that took over for him, and now they are great to me. It's just like, man, these people are awesome people. This dude drove halfway across the world to help me get a gift for my kid. And by the way, GameStop policy was that he's not supposed to do that. That was wrong. And he did it. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to take care of my friend. Then just the manager can get mad if that's what he wants to do.
7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
You know? So,
A lot this year, but not that time.
anyway. I love people, I think is what I'm trying to... I think that's the end of that sentence. I love people. I want people to win. Time for bed. Finally quieted your stomach down. Good night, all. Take it easy, tag. Man, y'all going to bed early. Y'all act like adults. Who replaced y'all? Who are you and what have you done with the people I'm used to streaming with? What's all this adult behavior and responsibility y'all are up to? But take it easy, tag. Have a great night, man. Yeah, well, Clem, I don't usually stop before midnight, and people are rolling out. I usually try to go at least till midnight for everybody. And it's Saturday, so it's like, what? What's all this responsibility and adult behavior? Kaz says, I'm still working and listening. Yes, I love when people come on the show when they're at work. I wish this existed. If YouTube existed when I was in the Army, God, the tedious ass nights when I was on 24-hour duty and I just had to be there trying to play Ghost Recon or Spec Ops on a bad PC. Like, oh, what are we doing? Or trying to sleep poorly in my car during the time they let you sleep on 24-hour duty. Like, what is this? But yeah, I wish YouTube had existed when I was in the Army. That would have made a lot of tedious nights much easier. Jolly says, Milk Story, did you tell it? Yes, sir. Just finished. Thank you for the reminder. Okay, he was out of bounds. Out of bounds, out of bounds. Hey, let's get after this dude. I'm tired of waiting. Stop throwing incomplete passes so the clock will stop. Dang, he is fighting to keep that ball. He's like, we've already fumbled 7 times. We're not losing this one.
So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defense is talking about. Getting the football and either
Jolly says, someone told me I need to start shutting stuff down at or around 11. I can dig it. Oh, man. I love when you guys recall stuff. Like, cause you fool. That's why. You guys have no idea how much I love when y'all tease and make fun of me. That is one of my favorite things on, like, being made fun of by people that are actually funny. It's, oh my god, there's nothing like that.
We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the
There you go, Pop. Stay up, stay up.
and they feel really good about their vision.
Stay in bounds, dagnabbit. I want that clock running. Way to go, Pops. Hey, way to widen out that route, even though you didn't. I just called a better play.
First play of the drive, a success.
But you see, Dad, when you get outside, you can get upfield, baby. I'm trying to teach y'all how to play this game for Jesus. Oh, yes, thank you. Jolly! Do you guys want to hear the experimental horror hip-hop song? Man, I only scored 28 points in the second quarter. I was sucking wind. I was too busy talking. Not actually playing the game. I gotta wait for this song to stop. Sorry. Take just one play to kick ass. Don't do 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 do. Shrink it, shrink it, shrink it. Check this out. Show you what you're looking at first, and then I'll Ooh, that was the part I wanted you to actually hear. Let me run that back. So this is an experimental song I worked on 11 or 12 years ago. So it's rough. It's not complete.
Sublime traces of fakeness and faces.
yeah.
Mask worn tight to hide shame and look blameless. Red carpet stay laced with the famous. Souls of Minnesota buy slots on the A-list. The puppeteer works late in the basement, making traps for the ignorant and brainless. His main trick remain faceless and nameless, to string you up by the veins of your vainness. Shameless, your love of money equals hatred itself. Lust for power got you brazen and flagrant. Your love of material is audacious. The puppeteers got your soul straight bleeding on the pavement. Identity.
Anybody get that reference? Anybody know what I'm talking about with that metaphor?
For the talent you were made quick. An imitator with the lame spit. The puppeteer stares. The way we did it, we live in what we spittin'. Walking that talk, yo, this the way we live it. I can't sleep cause we in the last inning. Kicking that truth while the world keeps spinning. The way we did it, we live in what we spittin'. Walking that talk, yo, this the way we live it. I can't sleep.
So the song's titled Insomnia, which I struggled with heavily when I was writing this shit.
We live in what we spittin'. Walking that talk, yo, this the way we live in that American reality. Relative morality, lies of the normality, and right is a formality. Stripped of my identity, equipped for codependency, pick for able tendencies, and whipped to break intensity. Rhymes stay loaded, my time stay rolling, my grind stay focused to shine light open.
The next lyric is MySpace voted. You can tell the song's a little old. MySpace ain't around, or at least nobody cares. So yeah, that's an experimental. Like, I was experimenting with making a song that sounds scary. Like, because what I'm talking about is definitely dark, but the sounds that I used and like some of the sound effects that I put into it were designed to sound like you were in a surreal kind of horrorscape. So the metaphor with the puppeteer. So the puppeteer is working late up in the basement on making traps, namely for the ignorant and brainless. His main trick remain faceless and nameless, to string you up tight by the veins of your vainness. But he gets to the puppeteer's got your soul straight bleeding on the pavement. That I actually took that imagery from something that terrified me in my childhood. And if Broken Suba was here, he'd be able to name it right off the top of his head. But does anybody know where that comes from? If you're into horror movies, puppeteers, people bleeding. That's your hint. Used to have recurring nightmares about it all the time. Until I started working on myself and a lot of this stuff went away. Some of it. Not all of it. Jolly says, I'm still I still like that I'm dropping your ass over. Oh God, the fact that you like that joke made my whole world, because I'm like, sometimes you just never know if a joke's gonna land, and when that one hit, I was like, because that was one of my favorite ones too. I'm dropping your ass over Africa, bitch. And just like I'm sputtering and spitting, because I mean on this show I'm playing this guy who's entitled, he's an asshole, and he's overly angry about shit that doesn't matter at all. Like, he's mad that Madden cheats. Who gives a fuck that Madden cheats? Like, he has no reason to be angry, which to me is what makes the joke funny. But yeah, I was like, I wasn't sure how people would take, because I'm just Africa, bitch. Like, it's like, this dude meant that shit. So I'm glad you dug that joke. That makes my world when a joke that I like also has other people that like it. Woo! Is that from that puppet horror movie back in the day? No. So I'll actually just tell you guys, because I think Soup is probably the only one who can get it, because he and I have had the conversation. It's from Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Remember the scene where, that scene fucking traumatized me as a kid. I used to have nightmares regularly about that scene happening to me, and I'd have that. You guys ever had that where your brain wakes up before your body, and you can kind of see in the room, but you can't move? Fuck that. And I used to get that all the time, and then I would just relive that Freddy Krueger scene often. But he basically, the kid is a puppeteer in the game, and Freddy turns the kid into a puppet and kills him. And it's like, Freddy is puppeteering the kid through the hospital, through the psych ward, and his blood is falling all over the floor while Freddy's fucking with him. It's a grotesque scene. I was like, damn, this is brutal. But Wes Craven's just great at coming up with that dark shit that's in all of our heads and helping us get it out. But, yeah, that's from the straight out. That was me channeling the fucking horror that I went through from age 7 all the way to when I wrote that song of that scene. I was like, I need to write this so I can get it out of me. Oh, I was thinking about Beetlejuice. Oh, Beetlejuice. You know, I still need to see Beetlejuice from start to finish. I think I've seen it in clips, but I've never actually sat. I need to watch Beetlejuice from start to finish. I like Michael Keaton. He's dope. There's other dope people. Winona Ryder's also dope. I need to get in there.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like
Oh, the hand in the cereal bowl. I know, right? And so here was the imagery. It's funny because I showed this to my son. This is the imagery I used for the song. And my son's like, Dad, that's a dope picture of you. So look at the guy. Doesn't that dude kind of look like me? It's not. It's the artist that did this painting. Or this picture, which I thought was dope. And so you can see the title of the song right here at the bottom. Insomnia. So shouts out to the dude that made that art. I wish I remembered his name. Actually, it's probably in the description of the video. Let's look it up.
This one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily.
So here's what I wrote. Insomnia is a verbalized daydream I had while watching TV late one night in my apartment. Insomnia is my summary of society issued in 16-bar increments. I'm speaking about the spirit behind the actions of men, the selfishness, the greed, the vanity, the arrogance, and the arrogance that motivate people to do what they do, dating back from the building of this country on the backs of slaves and forward to the folks who would sell their soul for 15 minutes in the limelight. That is what, like, so basically the whole point of that song is that's the shit that keeps me up at night, is how the hell are we like this? And then on the same breath, it's like, God, how the hell are we this awesome, too? Like, we do awesome stuff, too. We build space shuttles. I saw Neptune. It's like, what? They got a picture of Neptune?
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And on the last go around,
Oh, that ghost, damn, Poltergeist messed me up as a kid, too. I like the food scene in Poltergeist messed me up. Isn't there a scene where the food is messed up in that movie? Big, yes! Jubilee! That's the nickname I gave. His name's Andrew. I call him Jubilee, kind of like Jubilee. That's my boy. He's the number one cornerback, number one defensive back in the game right now. And he just showed you why. To the crib, son. The crib. I think he's got 6 or 7 pick sixes. And we're only in week 13. He's a beast. I think he's got 14 interceptions on the year. Ryan says, so unpopular opinion. Maybe.
Not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another.
You know, like I'd see these actors just like people who were famous and what they were willing, like people like selling their bodies to get a spot in a movie, and it's like I'm not condemning them for their actions. It's like to feel like that was the only way you can win. What level of like negative, like we were talking about desperation earlier, but that's desperation to me that goes too far. Like that you would have to hurt yourself to get in these movies, ladies. I'm sorry, it's like that. Damn. Like I need to make a movie studio. I need to own a satellite. I need a lot of things so I can just make stuff not suck all the time. That should have been a pick six for Miko right there, but I think I was pressing too hard to get the sack, and then it transferred over to her when I pressed the B button. I think I screwed that up. There you go, Chris. Way to be home, dude. Way to be where you supposed to be to make a play when we need you most, man. Count on my brother for that. Happened to men in the industry too. Yeah. No doubt. Thank you. Thank you for adding that bit of information.
The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is brought in at the 21, pushing his way through.
And it's so funny because, I mean, that just shows you how our brains are biased, right? Because in my mind, I don't imagine, like, oh, dudes wouldn't have to do that. They totally do, and I know better. But it's just like, in your mind, you're thinking, well, that's totally... It's like, no, dudes getting... I mean, Richard Pryor used to joke about having... Well, I guess we don't need to get that graphic. What am I talking about? Graphic on this show all the time. But Richard Pryor talked regularly about... Well, not regularly, but he had a number of jokes about having to be sexed in order for him to be where he is. They really do not want me to run this play. It's like they are specifically defending against the one play I want to run. Let's see what they do right here. Cut! Inside! Gotcha, bitch! Touchdowns galore in your anus! Way to go, Chris. Yep, good point there, Mr. Rion. Good point. Yep, heard all the Richard Pryor albums. Oh, those are gold, man. Rich. Oh my God. Rich is just on another, and I thank God every day that I grew up in the family I grew up in and just got exposed to Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy as a kid. Like, my parents didn't shield me from that stuff. They let me explore it and enjoy it. But they also were there to explain, like, here, some things are not appropriate, some things are appropriate. These guys are telling jokes. None of this is real. Don't make this your life philosophy. But just to have parents that were into comedy, just, God, it's such a blessing. Think of it this way. If you don't do anything else in your existence, you lived and got to hear Richard Pryor. Like, what? Come on, man. What are we complaining about? Like, that's a blessing to hear a person who took unbelievable suffering and turned it into joy for other people. And if you, like when we were talking earlier, Jolly, that's what you and I are actually up to. The bottom line is, B, what do? I take all of my suffering and my failures, and I help other people get through their suffering or avoid it altogether by not doing the dumb shit I did. Period. That's it. That's all we're up to. It ain't nothing more grandiose than that. Same shit, dude. There you go! PJ getting in there. But yeah, Richard Pryor, man, we lived at a time where we got to hear, like, I got to see Richard Pryor do things when they were happening. Like, I'm old enough to, like, one of his last shows I was a little kid during. And it's just like, I wasn't there live, but I got to see the video of it when it came out in the movie. You know, the movie came out. Like, man, I lived at a time where we got to see Richard Pryor, Tom Brady, like all these things that are going on in our world. Like, we got to Mars. It's freaking awesome. We have the internet, which I wouldn't be able to do half of the stuff I was able to accomplish in my life as easily as I've done it without the internet. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it would have been a hell of a lot harder without it. 22 or 21? I really wish there were more creative fullback plays. Can I add? Does Madden let you create plays anymore? I'd really like to make my own plays. Because, like, I'd have some way more exotic stuff than some of the stuff they're throwing at me. Because, like positions in the field, places where I'd want to throw the ball. It's like, oh, they're not really giving me. I need to start making plays like old Madden used to let you do. But I don't know if these newer Maddens let you do it anymore. And if they do, I don't know how to find it. Might be getting humans on Mars. Yeah, like we're getting humans on Mars. What? Like we have Amazon drop. Like Amazon does my grocery shopping for me now. Some of it I can't. I can't do all of it. But a lot of my utilitarian stuff, Amazon just does it for me. I don't even have to do it. I don't have to do it anymore. Like we're living in great times, man. Great times, yo. Take every opportunity to make the most of it. Yeah, sometimes things are hard, man. We still got dumb people doing dumb stuff. We still got a crazy flu virus that's hurting people. We'll get through it. Like, we'll figure it out, guys. Come on. We're strong. Humanity is stronger than COVID. You know, we'll be all right. Get there. First down. Dang, look at how much taller he is than my dad. That's insanity. Give him a couple on the carry there.
Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
You said you don't think it is. Yeah, we'll be all right. That's also one of the reasons I started doing game therapy too. It's one of the things I know. If you guys don't know, in my travels, I have a lot of different skills, and one of them is I am a certified facilitator, and specifically, like I can go into companies and change. Like I can go into a company and help them change their culture. Like I'd love for the Washington football team to call me, be like, "Hey, can you come do some culture work with us to help us go from here to here?" As an organization, and more helping the people. One of the things you do when you're facilitating or helping companies get better as a culture is you manage the communication cycle. So one of the things I do with my show is always remind people to look at the positive perspectives, because the news is always going to make you focus negative, because that's how they sell Viagra. Scary to death, dick goes soft, you buy Viagra. Everything's going to get you focused on the negative, because that's what keeps you scared and acquisitive. Like, get the positive shit in your head too, because a negative communication cycle will rip a company, a country, or anything else apart quicker than anything. Is the way you talk about things. So if everything is just the negative and you're not looking at the other side of the coin, what are you going to be? Super ass negative and not able to see the positive. The next thing you know, you're complaining about things that aren't even real, and you're fighting with people that you don't even have beef with. Have you been on social media lately? It sounds a lot like that at times, doesn't it? Yeah. So you manage the communication cycle. Ooh, come on, baby. That's good D. I can't be mad at that. That's good old-fashioned D right there. I can't be mad. Feel like he still should have made the catch, but this the new NFL. These guys are, everybody's a hero and meriting emotions instead of catching balls and getting beat in the face. Get your ass up. We can't get sacked, damn it. Get up. Thank you. It'll mess up the whole thing today if we get a sack. We already have one. Can't get two.
We've seen this already from him in this game. Second time he's into the end zone with a rushing touchdown.
So the head coach is going to have a meeting with the owner this week. You know why? He's got to let the owner know, I know you wrote the check for his arm, but we're going to make him a part of our running game too. This guy can do it all. Let's see where he takes us.
So Ryan, after I said that, immediately goes and points out a negative thing. I'll let you guys guess whether he's an extrovert or a neurotic. But there's all this bad shit too. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, shit sucks. Welcome to Earth. It's been like this a while. And we've been stronger than all the shit is thrown at us. Go to sleep and have a cookie. You're going to be fine.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
No doubt to take the offense right here. The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. Just punter. All right? So you've got to go out and create some...
Yeah, Suffolk is... So if you read his name, if you understand how to pronounce Suffolk and not Suffolk, like most people are probably pronouncing it, then you understand his very childish play on words. I ate 4 personal thin crust pizzas, and I'm told to stay hungry. Oh, man. So, Pocket Thoughts points out something that I wasn't even paying attention. I should have scored a touchdown right there. I was too busy looking at the comments. I was running backwards. Pocket Thoughts points out something. She's like, I thought you were mad at me. Like, I'm never mad at anybody. If anybody thinks I'm mad at him, please understand. That is not happening here. I am... Despite my demeanor as this insane alter ego that I play on this show, I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky dude for the most part. Everybody's fine. Nobody's angry. You guys are all great. I love everybody. Stay strong. Stay black. If you're not black, get black. It's great. Way to go, Pops. Turbolin says, talk of food makes me hungry. Word up. He says, if you not black, get black, but don't do blackface. Yes, please. Even though I will personally find your demise hilarious. Don't do that to yourself. Oh, God, please don't. Don't be that person. Or do, so that I can get a laugh out of what the internet's going to do to you. God, dog. Turbulence says, I miss gluten. Oh, man, yeah, I get it. That stretchy feeling right on the back of your teeth that just... Now, wait a minute, Turbo Lynn. Let's experiment here for a second. I don't know if it has gluten, so forgive me if what I'm getting ready to say is really, really stupid. Although gluten is water mixed with wheat protein, which makes glutenin and gliadin, and then the water mixes to make it into gluten. So it's wheat protein. So theoretically, this should work. Can you eat Jell-O? Because if so, you can replace the psychological pleasure that comes from those back teeth. Like, think about when you're eating a tortilla on your back teeth. That chewiness that comes with it is pleasant, right? Or at least if you like tortillas. But you can get similar effects with food that's gelatinous, but not necessarily with gluten. Can you eat Jell-O? I wonder if it could create some of the same effects to curb, like when you're having a gluten, like, oh, I want gluten. If you replaced it with Jell-O, could that potentially curb the craving because it's sending the pleasure signals to your brain from your teeth? Just a thought, throwing it out there. I've never experimented with that before. I'm a mad scientist that likes to try new stuff, so I don't know.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
He says save off money and pay off debt to get black. Oh, that's great. Great one, Kaz. Oh, that was good. Man, y'all have had some really good zingers tonight in the comments, man. Like, really, really well done. No gluten in Jell-O, then.
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, Jell-O's definitely not going to be the same. I'm just trying to get you something that you can replace that at least gives you some of the pleasure. It's definitely not going to be as good as eating bread. It's never going to give you that. I just, maybe it won't work. Maybe what I'm suggesting is completely idiotic. And I mean, it presumes that you like Jell-O. Maybe you hate Jell-O. Let's see. Yes. All right, so Dad's going to be my outlet on this one. Go. All right, Dad, you're up. Stay in bounds! Oh, thank you. Whew.
In the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches,
That was old school Madden right there, where you just take control of the receiver and go get the ball. That was That was what I used to do in Madden 94, was just throw balls and make the receivers go get them. Like, I don't even care where it is on the field. Just go get that ball, son. Hitch route? That was a dig route. What are you talking about? That was a Dixie, baby. But, commentators are allowed to make a mistake here and there. Look at those ankles getting butt. Oh, your ankles. Dang, he made that dude almost hit his head on the ground. He juked him so bad. That's sad, bro. You should be ashamed of yourself. I think his wife left him out. She saw this highlight right here. His wife, she just put the divorce papers up right there. Like, I'm going to go try to get with this dude that scored the touchdown. Sorry, ladies, he's married. Taken.
yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown.
Yeah, and gummy bears, too, would have the gummy bears would actually have a better effect. Or like something like this, what I was snacking on earlier. Something like these is kind of what I'm thinking of, but not. And this would probably work even better than the Jell-O suggestion. But that's what I was getting at. Giving you something that gives you that pleasure on the back of your teeth. Gummy bears will definitely give it to you, but you're going to eat a ton of sugar to get it. I thought at least with Jell-O you can get sugar-free, or, it could be sweetened in a different way. That doesn't have to give you a bunch of junk calories.
punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack.
You better talk to your boy.
You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
So gluten, Brian says, is the protein component of wheat, but I thought there's more to it than that. It's actually glutenin and gliadin that are the proteins, and when water mixes with them, that forms gluten. That's correct, right? Like, there's not just gluten chilling in wheat. You have to add, water has to be added to that to make those two proteins into the stretchy stuff that makes bread stretchy.
Second and 14. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Jeffrey Sherman says, going and getting the pass. Those were the good old days. I don't like these current Maddens like those older ones. Yeah, it's weird because, like, in one breath, I do like that the older Maddens gave you more freedom, but those older Maddens were also a bit harder to control. So it's like, it's kind of give and take. You know, like, I like the newer Maddens because they're a little bit more streamlined. There's more I can do with it, but you're right. There's still nothing like throwing up a pass in Madden 94 and letting Jerry Rice come down with it.
Yeah, the excitement gap on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Here's Cameron Johnston.
He says it seems football can be maddening. And welcome, Jeffrey Sherman. Welcome to the show, or welcome back to the show.
See what he can do on the return.
Either way, we're glad you're here.
A good return there.
Has everybody had a chance? If you haven't already, definitely do this because we're getting ready to end here after the game. Make sure you guys make it over to the Discord server so you can keep in touch with us and all the things we're up to. And you can connect with the community because we're up to some pretty cool things like our Wisdom Challenge you're probably going to want to be a part of. And even earn some monies doing it. Is a gluten allergy a real thing, or is it just a herd mentality? That's the question for the biologist. I won't answer that. I'm too ignorant. Stay in bounds. Dad! Damn it. Madden. So that's where I hate the new Maddens. I'm pressing the control for him to go one direction, and the physics engine is just off the charts ridiculous, and they need to fix it. There's no way I would have gotten knocked out of bounds fighting against that. But never mind. It's not worth complaining about. They're not going to update it.
Throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Back to throw. Chambers. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete.
I'm staying in bounds, dang it. I'm like running completely away from the sideline.
A yard or two shy of the 10. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a gluten allergy per se. I just like everyone's saying, there's other issues that people have that consuming gluten exacerbates. I don't know if there's why would you be allergic to something technically? The components of gluten your body, I think, produces on its own, so why would you be allergic to that? That doesn't necessarily make sense, but I don't know enough about the biology of food to really speak with any authority.
Washington. A 12-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted.
We are in uncharted territory, except he's done this 12 other times, so I don't know what uncharted territory you're talking about. He does this every game, bruh.
A couple trophy rings, maybe a whole home.
Can't believe the Eagles held us to a lower score tonight. I don't know what that's about.
He's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him.
Thank you. Thank you, Rion. That's the one. Jolly says, hey, B, what was that thing about earning money with Discord? I don't know. Remind me what I said. I say a lot of things, and I remember none of them. You must be more specific.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the head.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You know, there's a theory too with people who have like peanut allergies, for example. One of the theories is that the allergy was actually developed as a biological response to overexposure to peanuts, and you can thank George Washington Carver for that. It's like one of the theories is the allergy developed as a evolutionary response to y'all are eating too much of the shit. Stop it. So it was like it was an allergy theoretically that never existed until America decided to shove peanuts down everybody's ass and put peanuts in so many things. But again, theory, who knows if it's real or true or any of that stuff. Big Rich in the end zone. I wasn't even controlling that. The game did that.
And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6.
Hey, good stuff, Rion. You said something about earning money using something in our Discord.
Offensive guy like that. I love it. He
Are you talking about tonight? The Wisdom Challenge. The winner of the Wisdom Challenge, there's potentially going to be a monetary reward, prize.
Here for the extra point.
Don't worry. The value you will get out of a lot of the things, a lot of the books you and I, and the things I'll have you going through will be worth way more than that cash prize we're talking about. You won't have to worry about that cash prize. You'll get way more value out of the things we'll talk about in the books. The books will have you read than you will worrying about trying to win the competition. I honestly am only including the cash. Like, I did it reluctantly. It's like, I hate adding that type of shit to things, but I've just accepted empathetically that humans sometimes need to have a game or something that gets them to do it. So it's like, all right, just pay them. Like, I'll pay your asses to read. That's what I got to do to make this country not ridiculous. This part of me didn't want to have any prizes. Like, the prizes y'all are getting wise. Patrick in the end zone. Way to go, homie. What was the drive goal? Was it score a touchdown with your defensive end?
So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having
Ilu Manarg says, well, I'm out, B. See you Monday, Spartan. Much love to you, brother. Thanks for coming through again. It's always good to see you. Especially good to see you above ground. Super trooper. We love you, bro. We'll see you soon.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend
Jolly says, I didn't even know there was a competition.
the scoop and score.
Well, now you do.
Exciting play in football.
Here.
We witnessed it there.
This is part of it.
And then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
That's how we're going to do the competition. Everybody's going to be on the book list, and then next year I start sending the books out. You guys read the books, you summarize them. The person we think is the best person, like the person who gets through all 52 books and does the best summaries, I'm thinking about having a cash prize for that.
Washington defense getting ready, and they had the fumble return for a touchdown, and boom, they're right back out there again.
And you hear so many people talk about opportunistic defenses in today's football. Well, they make their own breaks because they work at it all the time. We've been at the practices, the drills where they're trying to strip the football, the takeaways. They're always working on it, and it paid off for them on the last possession.
Paid off. Now can they do it again? An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 20. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. They'll drop the throw, and the pressure gets to him again.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown.
That was weird.
And now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it. He's having himself a game.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
We're not jumping off the line, you big dummy. Snap the ball.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz.
I didn't even need the help. It's awesome. We held this dude to a 10% pass completion.
And now
10%. Look at it. I want to look at it. Look at it. 9.75% completion rating. You terrible. I hope every quarterback we play against gets cut the next day. Like, dang, we got to get rid of this dude. He threw for negative yards. We ain't never pitched a shutout where nobody got no yards.
Ready, ready. 70 in. Got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Win friends and influence people or whatever is filled with tons of examples. Stuff I already do. Like, just tell me how to go up to people and start a conversation. Well, the book did. You were just too busy judging it and yelling at it to catch the lesson. You didn't read the part about Benjamin Franklin? They explained how to do it.
It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Point after, right
If you want the trick to reading How to Win Friends and Influence People quickly, just read the last page of every chapter. What you're asking for is the last page of every chapter. You sure you read it? It's in there. I get your point, though. Enough with the stories. You just want to get to the practical stuff. I agree with you.
they run up and send this one away.
Oh, you're not even finished reading it yet. You shitting on the book. You didn't even finish it.
The Eagles offense back out.
Oh, man, that's funny.
They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened now.
Use that as ammo.
Exactly. Take a
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so
Yeah, it's funny. Like, if you know how to read, the trick to reading How to Win Friends and Influence People, you can actually do it faster with the actual book than reading the audio book. Big Lou in the end zone again, because Carson Wentz is just giving up. I think he's giving up on life. Come on, bro. Just at least go down. Don't get an ass beaten and lose the ball.
and it turns into 6 points for him.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice for such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Oh, and if anybody was wondering, how do you walk up to people and talk at a party? Ask them questions about themselves and let them do the talking. They'll talk all night if you can ask the right questions. And then you don't have to say shit. And then what the book will teach you
And you can bet they're preaching.
is when you do that, you'll leave that party and everyone that had an interaction with you is going to talk about how much they really liked you and how interesting you were, and you never said a word because you got them talking about their favorite topic themselves. And everybody pretends to be this altruistic. I'm not that selfish or focused on myself. Yes, you do. Shut up. We all do.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance.
Some of us just don't lie about it or try to pretend.
How they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that.
Jolly says, yeah, I have done that. Oh, hold on.
Repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning
Hold on. What am I getting here? The Abe Lincoln not writing the angry letter to his general. Gotcha. So you ask people questions and they walk away. Well, you got to get better at asking questions, man. You want me to give you my book of 100 questions? Give you some give you some pointers. Like, if people are looking at you crazy, it's because you're asking crazy shit. Like, what do you ask people that makes them look at you crazy? What questions are you getting into?
Just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
former defensive back. Now as a quarterback third and long, you really got to rally.
See, I try to ask open-ended questions, but somehow it turns into a answer, and I'm waiting for them to talk about themselves, but they don't seem to want to, and they okay, so that person probably is just as socially insecure as you. and wants to get away from the conversation. Go talk. Like, all you introverts are fucking attracted to each other. Go talk to the extroverts. They'll talk to you all night. The damn wallflowers all hanging out wondering why they're all weird. Because you're weird. Go talk to the people who are good at talking. And I'm kidding. I have no idea what happened to you at that party. Oh, man. I got to start prefacing when I'm joking and when I'm being serious. Oh. Do you actually have a book of 100 questions? The answer is yes. I just don't remember where I put it at the present moment. I usually have it with me in here. Because even sometimes I've used it to make content before. Honestly. Some of the philosophical, like some of the videos I have that have done 100,000 views came straight out of that book. Because they were questions people were interested in talking about themselves in the context of. Oh, man. We did it, y'all. We beat them. I didn't have my best game, but that's okay. We still won. Still won. Hey, Angel says, bro summed up my whole social dynamic. Well, of course, a lot of you guys are attracted to my work specifically because it is the complement to what you are. Right? Most of you are introverted. Most artists I run into are introverted. Right? Even though they may project themselves as very extroverted on camera, they're not. They're very, very, like Eddie Murphy is introverted as shit. Right? But at least from what I've gathered from him, I've never met him personally. But when I read him in rooms and when he's doing interviews, I'm like, oh, this dude is straight up. So it's like, yeah, people used to say opposites attract, but the truth is complements attract. Right? So a lot of what I have is the complement to your, like my extroversion can be the complement to your neuroticism. So it's just natural. Like I've seen, like I can say those things to Jolly and you because I've worked with thousands of people like you to help you get where you're going in some way, shape, or form, right? So I may have seen this movie once, twice, or 3,000 times. So it's like when people come to me with a problem, what they don't realize is I've probably solved that very specific problem 300 other times for other folks. And it's just like basically what you learn when people start calling on you to help them, you learn very quickly that everybody has the same 6 problems. They just call it something different. Right? So it isn't magic. It's just when you know somebody is highly neurotic and specifically has the courage to admit that they're socially awkward, you just know. Like, I know what you're dealing with because I share in being socially awkward. Even though I'm extroverted, I don't have the strong social side of extroversion that makes me want to just go out and talk to everybody. I don't want to talk to everybody because everybody is exhausting. You know, I want to talk to people who I enjoy talking to. But I do have a lot of the other extroversion, so naturally you're going to see how I project and be like, oh, that's a thing that I want in my... And none of this is happening consciously. It's not like you're watching my videos like, I'm going to reach out to this man. It's a subconscious thing. Right? Let's see. Kaz says, I usually end up with other introverts talking about all kinds of obscure nonsense. And that's cool. Like, I love talking with more neurotic people because you guys are fascinating. You do so much thinking that you have a lot of interesting things to say. Whereas the extrovert thinks through talking. And that's the thing. That's one of the struggles that neurotics have with extroverts is when we talk, you guys think we're saying what we believe. Like Jolly was yelling, you wanted a bit. I'm thinking out loud when I talk. But you're an introvert. You wouldn't talk until you thought it out for 1,000 hours to make sure somebody's not going to tell you you're stupid for thinking it. You know? So, but when I get with my introverted friends, you guys are fucking fascinating because you spend so much time thinking. And it's just like, oh, damn, this dude. And like I've sat with people, like one of my friends who went to a baseball game, and if you would have seen us hanging out together, you would have thought he was the extrovert. Because he was rapping. And I was just taking it in like, this dude is fat. Like, human beings are fascinating if you can just get them and listen to them. Every human has an interesting story. Everybody. I've never met a person that's just completely boring, mediocre, and uninteresting. Everybody has a spark. You know, it's just finding out how to get them to tap into it. Let's see, Jolly says, I figured I wasn't really an attractive person, so that's why I get weird looks like they are disgusted or something. No, you're not unattractive at all. And I can, as a man who has seen your face, you're an attractive dude. Straight up. And I would not lie to you. If you were ugly, I'd be like, hey man, start making money. I would tell you straight up, like, we need to get you some loot today. Because we got to shore up that ugly. But no, you're not. You are an attractive young dude, period. So take that to the bank. From one handsome dude to another. You aight. You going to be aight. And you look good. Angel says, I'm definitely improving on being charismatic. Yeah. And it's, you know, it's cool because you're not stuck in your personality. You just have a default setting. You could totally learn how to develop more extroversion. Just like I had to learn I spent 10 years learning how to be more neurotic because I hung out with all neurotics in my part of my professional life was all neurotics. So I had to learn that, you know, neurotics don't like being talked to for hours at a time. It's like you have to learn how to adjust for people. Yeah. So just like, you know, I can learn how to be more neurotic and introverted. And there's even people who, when they meet me, they think I'm an introvert because I just don't talk. You know, obviously on this show that it's not the case. So the point of me being here is to talk to you guys. But in a social environment, you may be surprised that I'm not quick to just start talking, especially if I'm in a room with people I don't know. I want to know who I'm with before I just start babbling. But for you guys, yeah. But yeah, no, you guys are, and Anjo, you're already better than you think you are. It's just you're going from good to great to amazing, right? You're not going from bad to good. Jolly says, got that coach walking around like he is going to pay my child. That's a great one. All he needs is a cigarette in his hand. Yes! Damn, y'all are killing with the zingers tonight, man. Or maybe I just laugh too. It's too easy to make me laugh. I don't know. That shit was funny. So this is Coach Whoopi Goldberg, y'all. I made him look like Mike Vick. It's like, hey, this dude looks like Michael Vick. I'm going to make him our coach. Jolly says, laughing my ass off. Hey, man, you need to start making money. But it's not an insult. Like, if you was ugly, I'd be like, hey, we need to get that income up, bruh. Because they ain't coming for them looks. Like, and I know that from experience. Like, I know I'm an attractive dude, but I can tell you straight up, I had to grow on my wife. Not that I'm not attractive to her, but I wasn't her stereotypical type. You know, I had to know how to play that game, man. And I'm her type now. But she wanted a Morris Chestnut when I showed up, and I've met Morris Chestnut. I've worked with him. That mofo is I told her when I worked with him, I said, babe, I get it. I work with Morris Chestnut today. And that mother hunter is fine as shit. Like, damn, he's good looking. Woo! Because, you know, a lot of people in Hollywood, they're made up and they catch camera angles and then you see him in real life. It's like, ooh, damn. Did he get hit by a bus? Since the last time I saw him. But no, Morris Chestnut, it's like, yo, she wanted that kind of chocolate brother with the short hair. And I was the exact opposite of that. I guess body style were similar. We're both, you know, kind of built dudes, but nah, you good, man. But for real, if you was ugly, I'd be like, hey, man, we got to get that bank account up. Let's get that loot. Let's see, Turbolin says, I started at amazing and am improving each day. There you go. Norfolk says, be neurotic and agreeable. Have... It's funny. Angel says, for real, once I get to where I can socialize, I really want to understand. And part of the issue with you guys, too, is you need more exposure. For the neurotic folks, you're going to have a tendency to avoid social situations. Start purposefully throwing yourself into them so you can feel uncomfortable. Because what happens is you eventually get comfortable being uncomfortable. And then you don't have the hang. Like, when I go on stage, like, to come do a live stream, I don't get nervous. I've been doing public speaking and doing shows for longer in my life than I haven't been, all right? But when I go on stage, I'm always nervous. Always. But I've done it enough times to be comfortable, because people always ask me, B, I want to start doing public speaking. How do I overcome the butterflies? I said, first of all, never overcome the butterflies. They're what make you great. I said, but you don't. I said, what you end up doing is you get good enough at this that the butterflies just don't bother you. You have them and you learn to appreciate them because they keep you on your toes. And then after every show, and I used to get butterflies before football games too, because you're always going to have butterflies before something that matters to you. That's the anxiety of your mind telling you, this matters, don't mess it up. But we overvalue that negative feeling. It's just an alarm system to say, hey, we're getting ready to do something important, be on your toes. And then once you do the act, people would ask me, B, how do I get rid of stage fright before I get on stage? I say, you don't. The stage fright goes away once you start. Right? So you guys have got to practically thrust yourself into uncomfortable. Now, don't make it crazy. I want you to expand your comfort zone, not hop out of it. But throw yourself into some, like when you would typically avoid a person or what, like engage. Because you'll get comfortable with your discomfort and just be able to deal with it and operate. A lot of what you guys need is not tips on how to ask people questions. It's just more practice on being social so that you can be uncomfortable with what you're feeling. And then when you do it enough, you'll be all right. All right, that said, gang, I have kept you longer than I had intended to, but I'm glad you guys came. Thanks so much for being a part of what we're doing here. I'm going to go ahead and, can I upgrade Whoopi Goldberg the way I wanted to? Well, he's not going to retire. I don't need to worry about his retirement. I want to be able to re-sign these mofos so I don't lose my team. Okay, so I don't have quite enough. Okay, I'm at 3,165. I need to get the 3,7 to get my wide receivers re-signed. And actually, though, I can get my old line squared away, which at present is probably more important than my receivers. But I'm going to do receivers first because my lineman ain't going nowhere. Plus, we got a lot of runway left to be able to do upgrades anyway. We still got a lot of season left. Still got a good amount of season left to get those points. He says, make his gums black. I hate them gums because they black. He said, I hate the back of Forrest Whitaker's neck. I love Forrest Whitaker, by the way. Anyway, I love you guys, man. We're stronger than I. I got some literally pretty heavy lifting to do tomorrow because I'm helping one of my neighbors move out of their home, but we're getting some of their furniture for my kids. We just set up one of our rooms, one of our additional rooms now as a bedroom for my oldest, so he can have his own space. And I'm going to get beds for him. So, having said that, I do plan to stream. Just probably won't be streaming in the afternoon. If I do, it'll be the evening. If I don't stream, I'll try to get a message out on Discord to let you guys know it's not happening, just in case things in my house are changing. I got kids coming off of COVID, getting them back to school. It's going to be a busy week. But I do plan to stream at some point tomorrow when the work is done, helping out the neighbors, and we'll do it then. I don't know what game we'll play. I'll figure something out. We'll have some fun. Either way, like I said, I love you guys. We're stronger than I. I'll see you back here soon. Peace.